And with a temperature of 49. Out there right now, most areas are in the 40s. The exception, Aurora and Waukegan, where skies have cleared out a little bit, and these are also areas with a little fog right now. 44 at Midway in the lakefront, 46 at Gary, headed for a high today, right around 50 degrees. Anthony Ponce, Brian set the bar very high. Traffic reports earlier this morning do not let us down, brother.
I'm not sure I can live up to that billing, but here's the deal, and I'm not sure it's reflected on this map just yet. If you are inbound on the Eisenhower this morning, expect solid traffic. There is a vehicle fire that has the two left lanes blocked. This is right at Cicero, exit 24B. This just happened about 20 minutes ago. Solid traffic. Expect delays of about 30 minutes. Again, this is if you were coming inbound on the Eisenhower. You may want to find an alternate route. The other expressways look fairly decent for a Friday morning. Hey, Kennedy inbound time from O'Hare to downtown, 26 minutes on the Stevenson. You're at about a half hour, I-355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive, and things smooth on the inbound. Dan Ryan. All right, to some other news this morning. The man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA is due in court. The attack happened on the Blue Line on Monday. Police say Lawrence Reed doused that woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Lawrence has a court date today at 10 a.m. Meantime, the family of the woman set on fire on the CTA is talking about what happened for the first time. She remains hospitalized this morning. In a new statement, the family thanked the doctors that are caring for her injuries. They are asking for privacy during this difficult time as she focuses on recovery. Mayor Brandon Johnson is calling what happened an isolated incident.
The level of accountability that has to happen in this moment, I trust that the federal level will do its part. What I can say is that as awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is as an isolated incident. As we continue to invest more in our public transportation system, we want people to feel safe as they ride.
The suspect is now facing a terrorism charge, among others. Prosecutors say he was on pretrial release for an aggravated battery case and does have a lengthy criminal record.
A federal judge is dropping charges against a woman from Chicago who was shot by a Border Patrol agent after allegedly ramming into his car. That ruling came yesterday after prosecutors filed a DTO to dismiss the case. Miramar Martinez, an American citizen, and her co-defendant, Anthony Ruiz, had both entered not guilty pleas to a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding federal officers.
Meantime, a federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of detainees from Operation Midway Blitz. A district judge previously ruled to allow their release on a $1,500 bond, but the Trump administration has appealed that. These detainees were scheduled to walk free today, and they will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which isn't until December 2nd. This morning, President Trump is accusing half a dozen Democratic lawmakers of sedition. And as he wrote on social media, sedition punishable by death.
One of the lawmakers, all veterans, posted this video calling on members of the military to defy what they're calling illegal orders. Democratic leaders are now accusing the president of threatening their safety. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says that Trump does not want anyone to be executed.
Many in this room want to talk about the president's response, but not what brought the president to responding in this way. The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos.
The video does not reference what those alleged illegal orders are. The administration has attempted to deploy National Guard troops in several cities.
One of those deployments has been in Washington, D.C., and now a federal judge has ruled that the National Guard's deployment to D.C. is illegal. The judge found that while the president does have the authority to protect federal property, he can't deploy troops to D.C. to help with crime control. The White House says it stands by Trump's decision, but this order has been put on hold for 21 days to allow time for an appeal.
A holiday tradition returns to Chicago tonight. The iconic Chris Kendall Market features more than 55 international and local vendors. Its location at Daily Plaza opens up at 11 a.m. The Aurora Market at the River Edge Park also opens at 10. And the Wrigleyville Market on Gallagher Way opens up on Sunday.
Another holiday tradition also back. We're talking about zoo lights at Lincoln Park Zoo. It opens tonight, everybody. Yeah, it runs from 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is closed on Tuesdays, however. Tickets are $7 to $20 per person. Holiday Magic at Brookfield Zoo Chicago also opens up to the public tonight, so plenty to do. However, the main holiday event this weekend is the tree lighting downtown.
So you know what we had to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
The city's going to flip the switch tonight, and Jake is live there this morning with a sneak peek. Hey, Jake.
Hey guys, that's right. Yeah, we're waiting on our own sort of tree lighting, as it were, waiting on the sun to come up. But holiday spirit is about to get lit up at Millennium Park. In just about 12 hours, it is the 112th annual tree lighting ceremony at Millennium Park. The pre-show kicks off at about 5 p.m. The lighting itself about 6:25 after some opening remarks by the mayor. He's going to be on hand to speak. Take a look at the beauty. A 68-foot Norway spruce comes in from Glenview, was generously donated by the Mason family. Now, the tree, after it's lit later on tonight, is going to be on display here at Millennium Park for a while. You can come out and see it through January 11th of next year. Guys, I want to kind of I want to run through some stats for you. This is pretty wild. There's about 185 lit spheres on this tree, about 1,200 strings of lights. And that just sounds a lot in terms of the strings, but let me break that down for you. That's about 100,000 LED lights, and if you stretched it out from start to finish, that's about 8 miles of lights lighting up that tree here at Millennium Park. Obviously, the tree lighting ceremony, it attracts thousands of people from around the area, so expect some closures in the ballpark of Michigan and Randolph and Monroe. Obviously, it's going to affect traffic through the rest of the day and through the tree lighting ceremony, but it's always such a great tradition. And as we were saying yesterday, for some people, the parade down the Mag Mile down Michigan Avenue is the kickoff to the holiday season. For a lot of people, it's coming out and seeing the tree lighting. It's sort of the flick of the switch that the holiday season is up and going. Now, there's a lot of other stuff happening at Millennium Park that we're going to tell you about a little bit later in the hour. The ice rink is open, and we're going to tell you what you need to know about that because it's important to make sure you get your reservations. And there's also a holiday market happening out here at Millennium Park. We're going to be telling you about that. So it's not just the tree lighting. You come out here and you can kind of have a whole holiday Christmas festive afternoon, as it were. But as you said, it's going to be a beautiful lighting. We're waiting on our own lighting. We're trying to get the sun to come up so we can kind of take a look at that Norway spruce behind us, generously donated by the Mason family. But until then, we'll catch up with you a little bit later in the hour.
Excellent, Jake, thank you. You will the sun to make its appearance because of Jake Hamilton. That's why the sun's going to come up today. Thank you.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Make it happen, Jake.
That's cool that he's going to climb the tree.
He's going to climb it.
Really wonderful.
Listen, I will never forget. This is in a previous lifetime. My brother, my dad, and I lit the tree one year with former Mayor Daley.
Okay.
One of the coldest experiences of my entire life. I remember my mouth could barely, you know how when you get that cold you can't talk?
Yep.
It was that cold for the tree lighting. I can't remember what year it was.
But was it all Ponce?
All Ponce plus Mayor Richard M.
Okay.
Way warmer today for whoever's lighting the tree.
Definitely. It's going to be close to 50 degrees there when they light the tree, so that's a plus. Although when you're doing the tree, it may be okay. You saw your breath or a little snowflake coming down.
That adds to the flavor.
It adds to the flavor. Well, we got plenty of time to add to the flavor later on. Let's talk about what we got weather-wise out there today. I'm optimistic that we're going to see a few peaks of sunshine today, even more tomorrow, and even more than that on Sunday. Clouds, for the most part, are going to linger today. A chance for a little light rain, I-80 and Point South this afternoon, not a big deal. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, then plenty of sun on Sunday. And temperatures on Sunday, I've been going 55 all week. It could easily be a 58 to 60. We'll see. Showers are likely Monday p.m. into Tuesday morning, and then it starts to turn colder here. And on Thanksgiving, I think we're going to be stuck in the 30s. 44, cloudy in O'Hare, no wind to speak of, so the wind chill's the same as the temperature. There are some colder spots, and in general, it is where skies have cleared out a little bit, such as Aurora, Woodstock, and Waukegan, and coincidentally, where the temperatures have dropped, that is where we're seeing some fog. Look at the visibility number there at Aurora, only a quarter of a mile, 2.5 at Joliet. We've got about a 1/4 mile at Merrillville. So few patches of fog around this morning, but an earlier dense fog advisory for Newton and Jasper County. They pulled the plug on that one. I think the fog is going to scatter out here later this morning. Brian, Anthony, back to you.
Well, President Trump is getting ready to meet with New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani for the first time. We're live in D.C. with a preview.
Also, it is Orange Friday here on Good Day Chicago. We love seeing your photos each and every week throughout this season. With the Bears at the top of the NFC North at 6:11 on your Friday morning. We will be right back.
You tuned in to Good Day Chicago, cause we about to have a good day, Chicago. You're tuning in at the right time.
New this morning, the man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA is due in court.
Police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Reed is facing a terrorism charge and has a court date today at 10 a.m. Victim remains in the hospital. Her family did release a statement thanking the doctors, the whole staff there, also asking for privacy as she focuses on her recovery.
A federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of Operation Midway Blitz detainees. A district judge previously ruled to allow their release on a $1,500 bond, but the Trump administration appealed that. The detainees were scheduled to walk free today. They will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which is scheduled for December 2nd.
President Trump is accusing half a dozen Democratic lawmakers of sedition, punishable by death. And these lawmakers, all veterans, posted a video calling on members of the military to defy what they call illegal orders. Democratic leaders are now accusing the president of threatening their safety, but White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Trump does not want anyone to be executed.
All right, time is down 6:15 as we check back in with Mike for a look at the forecast, getting out to looks like another kind of cloudy start, but you say things are going to break up a little bit.
You know, there are some gaps in the clouds right now, so some of you may have a little bit of sunshine today. All of us will get sunshine over the weekend, with Sunday being the sunnier of the 2 days. Let's take a look at the rain, where it is laid out early this morning, and you can see this reaches out of Kansas, across northern Missouri into southern and central Illinois. Nothing in our area yet, and if I had to pinpoint kind of the northern terminus of where I think some rain could get, I'm going to go right about I-80, and there is no reason why the interstate ends up being a blockade. It's just a convenient reference point. You know, maybe something falls here, we'll see, but I think most of that rain is going to be well south of Chicago, city and points north. I just don't think there's going to be anything coming out of the sky. I'm going to call this day mainly cloud, plenty of clouds with some peaks of sunshine. 50 degrees for the high, chance for that light afternoon rain far south of the city. Think I-80, maybe even more towards the Kankakee and Illinois River valleys. Here's the 7-day forecast. Got a 50 today and tomorrow. Tomorrow will be, I think, a little bit sunnier than today. And then Sunday, uninterrupted sunshine. Absolutely gorgeous. At least 55 for the high. We'll have a 55 on Monday with some rain late in the day and at night into Tuesday morning. We'll still hit the mid-50s on Tuesday. Then we get a shot of some colder air. 42 for the high on Wednesday. And then Thanksgiving, the start of what I think will be several days where highs are only in the 30s. Looks like a little bit of cold turkey there with a high temperature of 35. Anthony Ponce, looks like the Eisenhower is slow.
Yep, if you have to take one thing away from this traffic report, avoid the Eisenhower inbound if you can. That vehicle fire, this was reported at 5:38. And this is on the inbound side. It's got the 2 left lanes blocked. So we're talking about solid traffic. It is backed up basically all the way to Broadview. So expect delays of up to 1 hour on the inbound Ike. Avoid that if you can. Things way better on the other area expressways. The Kennedy inbound from O'Hare to downtown is at 31 minutes. Also about a half-hour inbound on the Stevenson between I-355 and DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You were at 28 minutes inbound on the Dan Ryan between 95th to downtown. And on the Metra, no major service alerts there, so things running smoothly on the trains. All right, these two have had harsh words for one another for months, and now they are going to be sitting down face-to-face in the Oval Office.
President Trump is meeting today with Zoran Mondani, the incoming Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City. Our Douglas Zader has a preview from Washington this morning.
It doesn't sound like the White House is exactly rolling out a red carpet today.
It speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House.
That is part of the welcome for Zoran Mamdani, the soon-to-be mayor of New York City, who will sit down with the president today in the Oval Office. As a Democratic socialist, he's ideologically miles away from the president, who he taunted back on election night.
I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
The president, too, made his distaste clear, repeatedly calling Mamdani a communist.
I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
This is an opportunity to make the case for New Yorkers.
Just yesterday, Mamdani explained why he was meeting with Trump, and he tried to find some common thread among their supporters.
This meeting is between 2 very different candidates who they voted for the same reason. They wanted a leader who would take on the cost of living crisis that makes it impossible for working people to afford living in this city.
And from the president, perhaps an olive branch.
We want to see everything work out well for New York.
Our Douglas Zader joins us now live from Washington. This morning, there's been a lot of back and forth between these two. What can we expect as far as the tone of this meeting between these two today, Doug?
Good morning. Well, this is the first time that the two of them are going to meet. We don't know exactly what kind of access we're going to get to this meeting. I mean, generally, there's what they refer to as a spray, where the cameras come in briefly and they say a couple of things, and the cameras leave, and then something happens behind closed doors. So we'll see. It's going to be probably more interesting to see what they say on the way out of this meeting, to see if there's any common ground at all. It may be a cordial meeting where they just kind of walk away agreeing to disagree on a whole host of subjects.
I mean, I suppose we could take a little bit of enthusiasm of the fact that they are sitting down face-to-face after basically publicly sparring so intensely for months. Any insight into what led them to each want to do this, to want to face each other in person?
Well, this is just kind of pro forma. I mean, this is often, generally what happens when you have an incoming mayor of New York. There's often a White House meeting. So they're not really describing it as anything beyond that. The president was asked early on whether he'd be willing to meet with Mamdani, and he said sure, but it was up to Mamdani to kind of make the request. And apparently the Mamdani operation did. They requested this meeting. Mamdani himself was pretty open about this yesterday, saying that he's willing to sit down with anyone, and the president has said likewise.
All right, well, we shall see what they say on the way out. I think Doug's right. It'll be interesting to see what they say after
the case.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend, Doug.
Thank you.
All right, flying has become more difficult than ever, but there is a new plan to bring civility back to airports. We're going to talk more about that just ahead.
New this morning, the man charged with setting a woman on fire on a CTA train has his first court date today.
Yes, police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman. It was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Reed is facing a terrorism charge and has a court date today at 10 a.m. while the victim remains in the hospital. Her family did release a statement. That statement thanked doctors. It also asked for privacy as she focuses on her recovery.
A federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of Operation Midway Blitz detainees. A district judge previously ruled to allow the release on a $1,500 bond, but the Trump administration appealed that. The detainees were scheduled to walk free today. They will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which is currently set for December the 2nd.
President Trump is accusing half a dozen Democratic lawmakers of sedition, punishable by death, in his words. The lawmakers, all veterans, posted a video calling on members of the military to defy what they call illegal orders. Democratic leaders are now accusing the president of threatening their safety. However, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Trump does not want anyone to be executed. Back here locally, people in Cook County, they're feeling a little bit of sticker shock this morning after getting that second installment of their property tax bills, albeit 4 months late. Former state legislator Ricky Hendon says these increases are unjustified, could result in dozens of homeowners losing their properties entirely. He says he plans to go to Springfield to call on lawmakers to freeze property tax hikes statewide. Hendon also wants to meet with Governor J.B. Pritzker to discuss adjusting assessments to last year's levels.
We believe there is no way a person should not be able to appeal these taxes right now. Right now. When you get your bill, it's when you should be able to appeal your taxes, not a year ahead of time.
The second installment payments are due December 15th.
Well, the number of passengers flying through O'Hare has taken flight, exceeding pre-pandemic levels. The recovery is being fueled by the two largest carriers, both United and American Airlines. The rebound will give the airport a lift as it overhauls Terminal 1. Work started over the summer and will really pick up over the next year. Well, some of the busiest travel days of the year are upon us, and as the old saying goes, it's time to pack your patience.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that, and that leads to some viral meltdowns. We see these on social media from time to time, from brawls at baggage claim to unruly passengers. Yeah, the skies gotten a lot less friendly over the years, and the data prove it, with a 400% increase in in-flight outbursts since 2019 and over 13,000 passenger incidents since 2021. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is hoping to change that by launching a new campaign titled "The Golden Age of Travel Starts With You."
Help people out, be in a good mood, dress up, bring civility back to travel, and I think everyone's experience is going to be that much better.
Thanksgiving week will be a major test of this. AAA expecting more than 6 million people to fly over the holiday.
Speaking of the holiday weekend, as we check in with Mike, how's it looking for our Thanksgiving forecast?
I think good, but cold. I like the fact that he's saying dress up.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the old days? Everybody got on a plane, nicely tailored, you didn't have to wear
Now you got shower sandals and sweatpants.
Oh my gosh.
I'm guilty of the sweatpants.
Oh, no.
That's all right. All right. Yes, we have some colder weather on the way for Thanksgiving, but a nice weekend. Not as warm as last weekend, especially Saturday, but I'll take 50s. I've got the complete forecast coming up for you. Anthony?
Okay, Mike, thank you very much. Hey, it's Orange Friday, everybody. And, yep, here's some more of your Bears photos. Saw Staley there. That's great. Looking great, fellas. In the rain. Best fan base in the NFL right there. Number 76, Steve McMichael. R.I.P. to him. Thank you so much for sending in your pictures. GDC@Fox.com. Attach those photos. We will be showing them every Friday throughout the season. We'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We appreciate you joining us here on Good Day Chicago at 6 o'clock.
Here's a look at some of the top stories we're following for you this morning. We're learning more about President Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine. A draft obtained by the Associated Press includes Ukraine ceding territory to Russia and limiting the size of Kyiv's military. It would also prevent the future expansion of NATO and dedicated $100 billion in frozen Russian assets to rebuilding Ukraine.
The 16-year-old stepbrother of a Florida high schooler who died on a Carnival cruise ship is now a suspect in her death. This is according to the new court documents filed by his parents. Anna Kepner, she was found dead by a housekeeper back on November 7th. Her body was under a bed on the ship. A final autopsy report on how she died is still pending.
Chicago police are investigating another burglary in Hyde Park. The latest happened at Shawn Michelle's homemade ice cream shop. The thief smashed through the front door, took the cash register, and cleared out the safes. On Tuesday, 3 burglars hit 5 other businesses over 5 hours between 55th and 56th Streets. Police have not confirmed if the same crew is behind the ice cream shop break-in.
All right, 6:32. Let's send it over to Mike Kaplan. It looks a little clearer over Grant Park from this van than it was yesterday.
Everything is relative, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's still, you look out there and you see quite a bit of cloud cover. I have another interesting view here. This is from Willis Tower, of course, it's all formerly known as the Sears Tower. And you can see a little bit of light there below, but for the most part, it is cloudy. So let's take a look from kind of a ground level shot. And once again, we do have a lower cloud deck that is obscuring the Willis Tower, especially up there about 600 feet and beyond. But there are some gaps in that cloud cover, which is why I'm at least optimistic that maybe some of us get a peek of sunshine here. Sun will be coming up in about 45 minutes. 50 for the high. That's warmer than normal. There will be a chance for some light rain this afternoon far south of the city, particularly south of I-80, maybe even more so closer to the Illinois and Kankakee River valleys. But the weekend looks great. Next week, a downturn in temperatures. We'll give you a look at the 7-day in just a little bit. Anthony, what about that Eisenhower?
Oh, it's getting worse. Yeah, it's 8 minutes slower than last time we checked in. This is due to a vehicle fire that has an inbound side. 2 out of the 3 inbound lanes, they are blocked right now. This vehicle is stalled right now, right at Cicero. Delays of up to an hour. So if you can avoid the Eisenhower, do that for sure. Your other inbound expressways starting to fill up just a touch. You are at 35 minutes if you're coming in on the Kennedy between O'Hare and downtown. Also 35 on the inbound Stevenson between I-355 and DuSable Lakeshore Drive. And things are also clogging up a little bit more on the inbound Dan Ryan north of 63rd Street. You're at 31 minutes between 95th and downtown. No major service alerts to mention from the Metro, so trains running smoothly at least this morning. All right, new this Friday morning, the man charged with setting a woman on fire along the CTA is due in court for the first time a little later this morning. This attack happened on the Blue Line on Monday. Police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline right before setting her on fire. Reed will appear in court at 10 a.m. Meantime, the family of the woman that was set on fire is talking about what happened for the first time. They released a statement thanking responders and also asking for privacy during this difficult time as she focuses on her recovery. Mayor Brandon Johnson is calling what happened an isolated incident.
The level of accountability that has to happen in this moment, I trust that the federal level will do its part. What I can say is that as awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is as an isolated incident. As we continue to invest more in our public transportation system, we want people to feel safe as they ride.
The suspect is now facing a terrorism charge among several others. Prosecutors say he was on pretrial release for an aggravated battery case and does have a lengthy criminal record.
A federal judge is dropping charges against a woman from Chicago who was shot by a Border Patrol agent after allegedly ramming into his car. The ruling came down on Thursday, hours after prosecutors filed a DTO to dismiss the case. Miramar Martinez, an American citizen, and her co-defendant, Anthony Ruiz, had both entered not guilty pleas to a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding federal officers.
Meantime, federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of detainees from Operation Midway Blitz. A district judge had previously ruled to allow their release on a $1,500 bond. However, the Trump administration appealed that, so those people that were scheduled to walk free today will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which isn't until December 2nd. Also, a federal judge has ruled that the National Guard's deployment in Washington, D.C. is illegal. The judge found that while the president does have the authority to protect federal property, that he can't deploy troops to D.C. to help with crime control. The White House, though, says it stands by that decision, and the order has been put on hold for the next 21 days to allow time for an appeal.
A holiday tradition returns to Chicago tonight. The iconic Chris Kendall Market features more than 55 international and local vendors. Its location at Daly Plaza opens up at 11 a.m. The Aurora Market at River Edge Park opens at 10, and the Wrigleyville Market on Gallagher Way opens up on Sunday.
Okay, there will also be lights in Millennium Park.
Yes, we're talking about Chicago's tree lighting ceremony. Jake is live this morning with a preview, looking a little bit brighter out there, just slightly, Jake.
It's getting little by little. The sun's coming out. It's lighting up the park, but it is nothing compared to what's going to be happening behind me at 6:25 later this afternoon. The 112th annual tree lighting ceremony taking place here at Millennium Park. The pre-show kicks off at about 5 p.m. The lighting itself, 6:25. You might remember that we were covering the generous donation by the Mason family of this beautiful 68-foot Norway spruce. Came out of Glenview, makes for a perfect tree and a beautiful centerpiece for the Millennium Park holiday Christmas festivities. I want to throw some stats at you guys. This is pretty incredible. There's about 185 lit. There's about 1,200 strings of lights. That means there's about 119,000 LED lights on this tree. And guys, if you took all the lights on this tree and you laid them out in a line, that's about 8 miles. 8 miles of Christmas lights on that tree. And this is just one of many things happening out here at Millennium Park. You take a look over there, the McCormick Tribune Ice Rink is opening today. They already got the Zamboni on there, getting it ready. They're going to have some fun. They're skating a little bit later in the morning. There's also going to be a holiday market, a Millennium Park holiday market happening just this weekend. It's free. You can come out here. It's free to come out and see all of this stuff. Obviously, the tree lighting attracts a lot of people, so you want to get out here. You want to account for a lot of the road closures, the traffic, Michigan Avenue, Monroe, Randolph. It's all going to be affected by all the festivities that are going to be happening a little bit later today. We're going to have more coming up at you in the next hour of Good Day Chicago. We're going to be talking with, or at least seeing some of the folks that are ice skating, telling you about all the great stuff that's happening out here. It's hard not to feel like the holidays are upon us, especially when that tree is lit up a little bit later. And it's going to be lit, guys, until January 11th of next year. So even if you can't make it, even if you can't make it out this month, you got a little bit of time to come out here and get into the Christmas spirit. I really want to see all the lights. 8 miles, guys. 8 miles from start to finish of Christmas lights on that tree behind me.
Clark W. Griswold, very proud, Jake.
Yeah. I could probably stretch to my house.
Oh, Clark.
From that location, just about, right? As we check in with Mike for a look at the forecast. Somebody's heading out there tonight. How should they be dressed?
For temperatures, it'll probably be about the upper 40s, so not too bad. It won't be very windy out there. So all things considered, pretty decent weather here for late November. But we do have colder weather on the way. Not for today, but as we head into next week. Now, with regards to any rainfall potential, we do see some rain moving downstate in central and southern Illinois early this morning. The northern edge of that could sneak into the I-80 corridor. I think that's as far north as it would go. More likely to bring a little light rain into the Kankakee and Illinois River valleys later on. Here's a look at our futurecast, and you can see some of that light rain creeping up from the south. It tries to get a little farther north. I think it's going to have a very difficult time happening. There's just too much dry air coming in from the north, so I think it's going to erode the northern edge. But tomorrow, much better chance of seeing some protracted periods of sunshine out there, maybe a few clouds in the afternoon. Then tonight, Tomorrow night, rather. It'll be clear, and that sets the table for a perfectly sunny day on Sunday. Today, plenty of cloud cover, a little bit of fog around this morning, with a few peaks of sunshine. 50 for the high, and there's that chance for a little light afternoon rain impacting a small portion of Chicagoland well south of the city. 50 tomorrow, partly sunny. 55 at least on Sunday with plenty of sunshine. We'll hit 55 again on Monday and Tuesday, but we do get some showers Monday night into Tuesday morning. Wednesday, starting to get cooler, high 42 degrees, and then Thanksgiving Day itself looks dry but cold, a high temperature of 35. Anthony?
Mike, thank you, sir. Plenty more to get to here on Good Day Chicago. Stop taking your shoes off on the plane. That is the message from the Transportation Secretary, Mr. Sean Duffy. We're going to break down his new campaign to make flying civil again. And police are investigating yet another break-in at a Hyde Park business. But first, we're going to have the latest on the peace plan between Russia and Ukraine. We will lay out what is now at stake. That's all coming up.
Celebrity.
Time now 6:45 this morning. We're learning more about President Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine. The Associated Press has obtained a draft proposal of that plan. It includes Ukraine ceding territory to Russia and limiting the size of Kyiv's military. It would also prevent the future expansion of NATO, which is something the Kremlin has been pushing for. Also, $100 billion in frozen Russian assets would be dedicated to rebuilding Ukraine. The war in Ukraine has been going on for more than 3.5 years.
The NTSB is releasing new images of that deadly UPS plane crash that happened in Louisville earlier this month, and they show the moment the plane's left engine completely separated from its left wing during takeoff. The NTSB says a fire then ignited on the left engine as it went up and over the main cabin of the plane before it hit the ground. Now, according to a new report, federal investigators are focusing on metal cracks right around the plane's engine.
I think the fireball got my attention because, again, you have to put things in perspective. Was it the engine that failed first that caused the separation, or did the engine separate and then cause a catastrophic fire? And in this case, it was the engine separating followed by the fire.
The NTSB says the plane was not due for a detailed inspection of that engine mount that fractured. 14 people were killed in that crash.
The 16-year-old stepbrother of a Florida high schooler who died on a Carnival cruise ship is now a suspect in her death. That is according to new court documents filed by his parents. Anna Kepner was found dead. Her body was found dead by a housekeeper on November the 7th. Her body was under a bed on the ship. A final autopsy report on how she died is still pending.
Chicago police are investigating another burglary in Hyde Park. The latest happened at Sean Michelle's homemade ice cream shop. The thief smashed through the front door, took the cash register, then cleared out the safes. On Tuesday, 3 burglars hit 5 other businesses over the course of 5 hours between 55th and 56th Streets. Police have not yet confirmed if the same crew is behind the ice cream shop break-in. The owners of that business, though, it's a family business, say that the loss might force them to shut down permanently.
Wow, that'd be a huge loss.
Yeah, it would be. All right, plenty more to get to here, including a new push to freeze property tax increases in Cook County. We'll talk about that and our other top stories when we come back.
This week.
We know this morning the man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA is due in court.
Yes, police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Reed is facing a terrorism charge, has a court date. He's scheduled to appear in court in about 3 hours. The victim is in the hospital this morning. Her family did release a statement thanking doctors and also asking for privacy as she focuses on her recovery.
A federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of Operation Midway Blitz detainees. A district judge previously ruled to allow their release on a $1,500 bond, but the Trump administration appealed that. The detainees were scheduled to walk free today. That will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which is currently scheduled for December 2nd.
President Trump is accusing half a dozen Democratic lawmakers of sedition, and his words, punishable by death. The lawmakers, all veterans, posted the video you're looking at footage from right now. It called on members of the military to defy what they call illegal orders. Democratic leaders are now accusing the president of threatening their safety. However, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says that Trump does not want anyone to be executed.
So it's now 6:51 this morning. Every time we go to an outside shot, Mike, it's looking a little bit brighter, but still a little bit of a haze. Kind of looking.
Yeah, you know, there's still this low-level moisture that's trapped. We've seen some fog. We have quite a bit of cloud cover. But unlike the past couple of days, there are some gaps in the clouds. And I think some of us are going to get at least a little bit of sunshine today, but much more on the way this weekend, especially on Sunday. Now, speaking of the fog, here's the visibility in miles or fractions thereof. And at Aurora's airport, where skies have kind of cleared out, only a quarter-mile visibility. At the Lansing airport, kind of using that as the proxy for the Chicago Heights area, quarter-mile visibility. So there is some fog out there. The big airports, no issues with the visibility restrictions, 6 and 7 miles at Midway and O'Hare. Still, quite a bit of cloud cover. We're kind of on the northern edge of a storm system that's going to try and sling a little bit of rain into parts of our area later this afternoon. I am favoring the I-80 corridor and points south for the chance of light showers. High pressure is trying to dry up that moisture that's sneaking in from the south as that storm system rides into the Ohio River Valley. That will veer away from us tomorrow so that we have at least partly sunny skies tomorrow. Then I think it is full-on sunshine on Sunday. And with that warm front way off to our east, I'm conservatively going 55 degrees. We might be able to squeeze out a 60 in a few spots on Sunday with plenty of sunshine. Now, here's the difference. Temperatures, everybody okay back there? Everybody okay? Okay, I'm hearing groaning back there. All right, we have colder than normal temperatures on the way as we head into next week, and this includes maybe the Thanksgiving weekend. This is a change from the pattern that we've had recently. 50 degrees for the high today. Light winds, plenty of cloud cover, but a few peaks of sunshine. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy with a low temperature of 35. And the 7-day forecast, we hit 50 tomorrow, 55 Sunday, 55 Monday with some rain Monday night and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday for Thanksgiving, cooler temperatures with a high of only 35 on Turkey Day itself. All right, Anthony, we see any improvement there on the Ike?
Yeah, we do have a little bit of improvement. They've cleared that earlier vehicle fire that caused a major backup, so now it's gone from solid traffic to just stop and go. However, folks on the Eisenhower can't catch a break because now, just east of there, right near the Ike on 5th Avenue between Colmar and Kilbourne, police are investigating a shooting there. So you're still at 47 minutes. Eisenhower not looking good. That's the inbound time between 390 and downtown. On the Kennedy, it's a little bit better. You were at 38 minutes inbound from O'Hare to downtown. On the Stevenson Expressway from I-355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive, you're at 40 minutes. And your inbound drive time on the Dan Ryan, you were at 30 minutes from 95th to downtown. Everything running smoothly on the Metra at last check. 6:54, people in Cook County, they're feeling some sticker shock this morning. They're getting their second property tax bill installments, albeit 4 months late here. And now former state legislator Ricky Hendon is saying that these increases are unjustified and actually could result in dozens of homeowners losing their properties. He says he plans to go down to Springfield to call on lawmakers to freeze property tax hikes all across Illinois. He also wants a meeting with Governor Pritzker to discuss adjusting assessments to last year's levels.
We believe there is no way a person should not be able to appeal these taxes right now. Right now. When you get your bill, it's when you should be able to appeal your taxes, not a year ahead of time.
Okay, and the second installment payments, they are due December 15th.
The number of passengers flying through O'Hare has taken flight, now exceeding pre-pandemic levels. The recovery is being fueled by the two largest carriers, talking about United and American Airlines. The rebound will give the airport a lift as it overhauls Terminal 1. Some of the work started this summer and will really pick up over the next year. Well, some of the busiest travel days of the year are upon us, and as the old saying goes, it's time to pack your patience.
Yes, indeed, but a lot of people don't do that, and that leads to a lot of viral meltdowns. We see these on our social media feeds, right? Videos like that one right there, brawls. at the baggage claim, unruly passengers getting into it. All right, the skies have gotten a lot less friendly, and the data proves it here. There has been a 400% increase in in-flight outbursts over the last 6 years, and there have been over 13,000 passenger incidents since 2021. So now the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, is hoping to change that by launching a new campaign called The Golden Age of Travel Starts With You.
People out, be in a good mood, dress up, bring civility back to travel, and I think everyone's experience is going to be that much better.
All right, Thanksgiving week's going to be a major test. AAA expects more than 6 million people to fly over the holiday.
Well, it is Orange Friday here.
Yes.
Good day. Got the orange on this morning.
You know what? I
Got the
forgot
Bears
my.
blue.
I forget. Yeah, Bears blue. Thank you, Brian.
There you go.
You're a
You got
glass
it
half
covered.
full guy. I forgot my orange pocket square. We love seeing these photos, though. Look at these. This is a new set. Everyone looking great in their Bears gear. Keep sending your photos in to gdc@fox.com. We are going to be showing a new gallery every Orange Friday throughout this season. Friendly reminder, everybody, that the Bears sit atop the NFC North.
1-3 in a row. Got
That's
a chance
right.
to make it 4. Hey.
We'll be right back.
Wait.
Welcome back. The Department of Homeland Security and TSA proposed a rule to charge travelers $18 at airport security checkpoints if they don't have acceptable identification. Approved ID includes a real ID or a passport. The TSA says the fee would cover the cost of its, quote, modernized alternative identity verification program.
Mixed results in the government's delayed September jobs report. U.S. employers added 119,000 jobs, and payrolls more than doubled its projections. That number, though, is lower than 2024's monthly average of 168,000 jobs added. However, new changes made by the Labor Department show that the economy lost 4,000 jobs in August.
All right, it's been almost 3 weeks since we rolled our clocks back 1 hour. And U.S. lawmakers, they are once again revisiting the idea of keeping or ending daylight saving time. Those in favor of keeping it argue that it will provide more daylight in the evening, which also helps Americans save money on their energy bills. Others point to the health risks, though, including disruption of sleeping patterns.
Good Day Chicago at 7 starts now.
And right now at 7 o'clock, we're hearing from the family of that woman who was set on fire on a CTA train as the mayor issues a message about safety.
And hundreds of detainees are in limbo after a federal ruling regarding Operation Midway Blitz, what it means for their release.
And taking a live look outside this morning, another cloudy one. More cloud cover to start the day. Mike is tracking when we could break out of this cloud cover and maybe see a little bit of the sun. I know I miss it.
It's been a few days, I feel like, since we've seen the sun, right? We need some sunshine.
It's starting to affect my mood, Mike.
That's seasonal affective disorder or whatever. Yeah. Well, you worked in Seattle for many years. And
it looked like this all the time.
Yeah.
In the wintertime.
But here's the deal. We're breaking out into a little bit of sunshine. I've got my fingers crossed that we're going to see a little bit of sun out there today. It is still mainly cloudy, but I know some of you are getting into a little bit of sunshine, and temperatures consequently are going to warm up. I think we can hit 50 today, 50 tomorrow, 55 on Sunday, 55 on Monday. We do have a little bit of rain for southern portions of Chicagoland, maybe late this afternoon, and then area-wide Monday night to Tuesday. If you're looking ahead to Thanksgiving, I've got a cold one for you, 35 degrees. That should be it for the high. Anthony?
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Big story this morning on the traffic side of things is the Eisenhower Expressway. There was a vehicle fire. That is since cleared, but police are investigating a shooting right at 5th Avenue along the Ike at 5th Avenue between Colmar and Kilbourne. So there's some stop-and-go traffic there to be aware of. You're at 47 minutes. That's the inbound drive time between Route 390 and downtown on the Ike. If you're coming in on the Kennedy, you're at 41 minutes between O'Hare and downtown. On the Stevenson, you are also at 41 minutes between I-355 and DuSable Lakeshore Drive. If you're coming in on the Dan Ryan, 95th to downtown, you're at 31 minutes with Metro trains running smoothly this Friday morning. All right, new this morning, the man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA on the Blue Line is scheduled to appear in court in about 3 hours from right now. That attack happened on the Blue Line on Monday. Police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Reed has a court date today, 10 a.m. The victim remains in the hospital this morning, and her family is talking about what happened for the first time. In a new statement that the family released, they thank the doctors that are caring for her during this time, asking for privacy as well during this difficult time as she focuses on her recovery. She's 26 years old, by the way. Mayor Brandon Johnson is calling what happened Monday an isolated incident.
The level of accountability that has to happen in this moment, I trust that the federal level will do its part. What I can say is that as awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is as an isolated incident. As we continue to invest more in our public transportation system, we want people to feel safe as they ride.
And the suspect is now facing a terrorism charge, among several others. Prosecutors say he was on pretrial release for an aggravated battery case and does have a lengthy criminal record.
A federal judge is dropping charges against a woman from Chicago who was shot by a Border Patrol agent after allegedly ramming into his car. The Thursday's ruling came just hours after prosecutors filed to dismiss the case. Miramar Martinez, an American citizen, and her co-defendant, Anthony Ruiz, had both entered not guilty pleas to a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding federal officers.
Meantime, a federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of Operation Midway Blitz detainees. A district judge previously ruled to allow their release on a $1,500 bond. And that was supposed to happen today, but the Trump administration has appealed. Again, those people were scheduled to walk free today if they could post the bond. They will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which is scheduled for December 2nd. And this morning, President Trump is accusing about half a dozen Democratic lawmakers of sedition and, in his words, punishable by death.
And it comes after lawmakers, who are all veterans, posted this video calling on members of the military to defy what they're calling illegal orders. Democratic leaders are now accusing the president of threatening their safety. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump does not want anyone to be executed.
Many in this room want to talk about the president's response, but not what brought the president to responding in this way. The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos.
Our laws are clear. Now, the video does not exactly reference what those alleged illegal orders are, but it comes as the administration attempts to deploy National Guard troops in several cities.
A federal judge has ruled that the National Guard's deployment to Washington, D.C. is illegal. That judge found that while the president does have the authority to protect federal property, he can't deploy troops to D.C. to help crime control. Still, the White House says it stands by this decision. The order has been put on hold, though, for 21 days to allow time for an appeal.
A holiday tradition returns to Chicago tonight. The iconic Christkindl Market features more than 55 international and local vendors. Its location at Daly Plaza opens up at 11 a.m. The Aurora Market at River Edge Park will open an hour earlier at 10, and the Wrigleyville Market on Gallagher Way will open up on Sunday.
And holiday festivities don't stop there.
They sure don't, right? The city's big tree lighting kicks off tonight at Millennium Park, and Jake is live this morning with a preview. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. We've been talking a lot about what you'll be able to see when you come out here to the tree lighting at Millennium Park a little bit later on today. But I feel like what we haven't really explained is what you're going to smell when you come out here. And I know reporters say this all the time. Oh, I wish you could smell this. But truly, when you get close to this thing, it just, I mean, you know that Christmas tree smell. Take a look at this. We wanted to get you sort of up close and personal to this 68-foot Norway spruce. It comes in from Glenview, generously donated by the Mason family. Take a look at the lights, guys. They got them all over this tree. What if I told you 119,000 lights on this tree? If you took these strings, I've been saying this all morning because it fascinates me. If you took these strings and stretched them out 8 miles of Christmas lights on this tree, including also 185, I don't know if you can see the big sort of lit spheres, and there are 185 of those. Of course, this is all part of the 112th annual tree lighting ceremony that's going to be taking place a little bit later today. There's a pre-show that kicks off at 5 p.m. The actual lighting itself is going to be at 6:25. The mayor is going to be on hand to speak. Of course, this is going to affect traffic around the area. There's going to be closures along Michigan Avenue, along Randolph, along Monroe. So even if you're not attending, but you're going to be in the area, you kind of want to plan for that as well. Now, if you can't make it out tonight, maybe you can't even make it out this week, maybe you can't even make it out this month, don't worry. The tree's going to be out here, and it's going to be lit through January 11th of next year. So there's still plenty of time to get in the holiday spirit, even after the holidays have wrapped up. But guess what? The tree, not the only thing happening out here at Millennium Park. We're going to give you a little bit later in the hour a preview of the ice rink, which is now officially open. Of course, that's always free, even though you do have to make reservations online. And that's going to be open for the foreseeable future into February. And then behind us, there is a market that's going to be open just for this weekend that's free to come out and check out. So there are so many things happening and we mentioned, of course, the parade that's happening this weekend. We mentioned that on the show yesterday. So this weekend really is the official, no pun intended, lighting of the switch in terms of the holiday spirits for people around Chicago. Of course, we want to thank the Mason family, generously donated the tree. Guys, you have any got any trees in the backyard you might want to donate to the city of Chicago?
I don't think we could top that one.
No, not quite, right?
68 feet, wow.
Not with that attitude, Ponce.
I know. Give me a couple decades, Jake. I'm trying to grow one.
Grow one? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's take a live look outside, getting brighter out there by the minute. Mike Kaplan.
It is. And, there are some gaps in the cloud. The sky does not look the same as it has the past couple of days. And we're not screaming out there with a ton of sunshine, but we do see a few gaps in that cloud cover. That's a view there looking over the plaza. Let me take you over here to the big screen and show you the view from Shedd Aquarium. And instead of seeing fog covering the tops of the buildings, instead of just seeing this permanently gray yuck across the sky, notice there's some texture to the clouds, a few areas where there's some light spots. Indeed, some of us are going to see a little bit of sunshine today. All of us will have more sun tomorrow, and then even more sun coming in here on Sunday. Temperatures now, for the most part, in the 40s, a little bit colder where we've broken the cloud cover. Waukegan 38, Woodstock 37. It's 36 at Aurora, but 43 at Midway, 46 at Gary and Kankakee. And I think comfortably we can tag that 50-degree mark in most areas today, just a little bump up over the past couple of days, and that is warmer than normal. And you'll notice a few peaks of sunshine showing up there. So, yes, it's going to be mainly cloudy, but there'll be a few peaks of sunshine here and there. There's a chance for a little light rain. We've had that in the forecast all week, specifically for areas well south of the city. Could be something sneaking up into the I-80 corridor. I think the majority of the light rain will be Kankakee and Illinois rivers and point south. So if you're headed downstate, you'll get into a little bit more of the rain there. Let's look at the 7-day forecast. We have some mild weather this weekend. Tomorrow, 50 with partly sunny skies, then at least 55 on Sunday. I could go a few degrees warmer. We'll see. It's going to be nice weather at Soldier Field, though. 55 on Monday. We get some rain in here at night into Tuesday morning. One more mild day, and then things start to change. We're going to alter the upper atmospheric pattern to bring in some colder air. 42 on Wednesday. Right now, Thanksgiving looks dry with a high of only 35. Back to you both.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it, sir. 7:10. President Trump is getting ready to meet with New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani for the first time. We are live in D.C. with a preview of that.
It's also Orange Friday here on Good Day. We love seeing all of your Bears photos. Here's the new batch there. I like that beard there, right?
There you go.
Yeah, go back to get that one. That was very cool. We love when you send in all of your photos. Bears currently on a 3-game winning streak, looking to make it 4 as we take on the Steelers this Sunday. We'll be right back.
Toyota.
Welcome back. A follow-up on the fight over the use of force by ICE agents and Border Patrol in Chicago. Federal Judge Sarah Ellis issued a scathing opinion on this issue. She is the judge that issued that temporary restraining order over use of force complaints. Her opinion says that agents misidentified people in neighborhoods as agitators and unleashed tear gas on them. She has ordered the government to continue handing over body cam footage and reports from any encounters.
Also new this morning, the man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA is due in court.
Yes, police say Lawrence Reed doused that woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Reed is facing a terrorism charge. He's got a court date today. It starts at 10 a.m. The victim, meantime, is in the hospital. Her family released a statement thanking doctors and also asking for privacy as she focuses on her recovery.
A federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of Operation Midway Blitz detainees. A district judge previously ruled to allow the release on $1,500 bond. The Trump administration appealed that ruling. The detainees were scheduled to walk free today. They will now have to wait until their next scheduled court hearing, which is on December 2nd.
All right, we're cruising into the weekend here, and this is really the weekend where all the holiday stuff kicks off. We got zoo lights. We've got the Mag Mile lights. We've got the tree lighting. Mike,
what's going on there?
And hey, there's a little game happening. Steelers? They coming to town?
Yeah. Coming to get beat down.
That's right. Going to go to 8-3.
My wrist is hurting. My wrist is hurting. You know, I bet he wants to play. I'm quite certain he wants to play out there. So I'm jesting, and I think the Bears want to see him. I think they want to face him and beat him down, at least figuratively speaking. Yeah. So a battle of two North Division first place teams coming up here, and in our 9 o'clock hour, Brian, you and I are going to talk to Lou Canellis and get his take on what's happening. All right, we got a tree lighting going on. We got all kinds of things happening, and I think for the most part, we're looking at a dry forecast this weekend. There's the rain. There's a storm system we've been monitoring all week long, and all week long we've been running this low chance of some showers in the area, specifically southern portions of Chicagoland. I really think you're looking at an I-80 north, more likely the Kankakee River Valley. This is where the northern edge of that rain is likely to stop because of the influence of high pressure off to the north. What happens there with a high, you get dry air, and I think that's going to eat into those showers as they try to come north. So I'm going dry from the city and points north, but if you get in the I-80 corridor, maybe you get a little bit of rain. But I keep looking at the camera shots, and you see, I mean, there's a little thin stripe. Maybe you get a peak of sunshine out there, but it's going to be another predominantly cloudy day, but just not the same character of the clouds that we've seen the past few days. Some peaks of sun are possible. 50 for the high, not a lot of wind. There's that chance for a little light rain far south. Tonight, skies should become partly to mostly cloudy. We'll have a low temperature of 35, a little bit colder than it's been this week because we won't have that blanket of cloudiness to hold temperatures up. So just seasonably chilly. Now, the 7-day forecast, I think the weekend's really nice. We don't have a record like last Saturday, but I'll take 50 with some sunshine. Even warmer on Sunday at Soldier Field. It's going to be bright. 55 for the high at least. 55 on Monday. We get some rain in here late in the day and at night, Monday into Tuesday morning. Tuesday, we can still hit 55 for the high. Then temperatures start a downward trend. 42 Wednesday, Thanksgiving Day, 35. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it, sir. Well, these two have had harsh words for one another for months now. Now they're sitting down face to face at the Oval Office.
Today is the day. President Trump will be meeting with Zoran Mondani, the incoming Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City. Our Doug Luzader has a preview from Washington.
It doesn't sound like the White House is exactly rolling out a red carpet today.
It speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House.
That is part of the welcome for Zoran Mamdani, the soon-to-be mayor of New York City, who will sit down with the president today in the Oval Office. As a Democratic socialist, he's ideologically miles away from the president, who he taunted back on election night.
I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
The president, too, made his distaste clear, repeatedly calling Mamdani a communist.
I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
This is an opportunity to make the case for New Yorkers.
Just yesterday, Mamdani explained why he was meeting with Trump, and he tried to find some common thread among their supporters.
This meeting is between 2 very different candidates who they voted for the same reason. They wanted a leader who would take on the cost of living crisis that makes it impossible for working people to afford living in this city.
And from the president, perhaps an olive branch.
We want to see everything work out well for New York.
Our Doug Luzader joins us live from Washington this morning. Doug, we're talking about 2 very, very strong personalities here. What would a win look like on both sides of this, for both the president and for the mayor?
Well, you know, a lot of this is just about the imagery of it. You know, the optics here are important, probably beyond anything else. We don't know how much of this we're actually going to see. The White House is advertising this as closed press, which means that you won't see any of it, in theory. But I don't think anyone's going to be shocked if there are, in fact, cameras in there for at least a portion of it to show the 2 of them greeting one another. We'll see. And then, of course, it will be interesting to see what they say coming out of it. If we do actually see any of the interaction, you know, look, there's going to be a lot of gamesmanship here to see who gets the upper hand in this relationship. And it is a relationship. I mean, New York City, biggest city in the country, also relies a lot on federal support. So, you know, there has to be some give and take here in this relationship, even though these are two polar opposites.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, could this be, even the optics of it, be a bridge for other Democrats to build better relationships, perhaps, with the Trump administration, the White House?
Well, you know, we've talked about this. I think Mamdani is kind of a singular figure. I just don't really see this as being a template for anyone else other than him. I mean, you know, and as we've talked about, you look at the at what happened in those off-year elections, and you know, outside of Mamdani, it was generally moderate Democrats that were able to win. So you know, this represents kind of the divide within the within the Democratic Party, and look for Republicans to really play that up today. I mean, I think a lot of Republicans are trying to make Mamdani the face of the Democratic Party. He's certainly going to be featured in a lot of campaign ads, no doubt, in next year's midterm elections.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing what comes out of the Oval Office a little bit later on this Friday. Thanks so much, Doug.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Good Day right after this. Welcome back. 7:23 on your Friday morning. Later this morning, the Kane County State's Attorney's Office is partnering up with Aurora University. They're going to be hosting an all-day human trafficking summit. This is open to the public. This is designed to teach folks from all walks of life how to identify, prevent, and respond to human trafficking. So joining us this morning to talk about it is Kane County State's Attorney Jamie Mosser. Jamie, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so human trafficking, I know this takes several forms, but how would you define human trafficking?
So trafficking is any time that you either force, coerce, or threaten somebody into either basically sexual servitude or even labor servitude, where people are being forced to either sell their bodies or they're forced to work in conditions where it's long hours, little to no pay, and without the resources people should have with that.
Okay, so a sexual component here, perhaps a labor component here. What are some of the signs that you want folks to be aware of that a person might be being trafficked?
A lot of the signs bleed over to both commercial and sexual servitude. It could be a person who is working long hours, people who look to be abused, people who cannot leave where they're going. They often emotionally disconnect from the people who they were a part of before. You see a lot of the issues with the people are that they just no longer connect. In some cases, you even see tattoos on them, and these are tattoos that traffickers use to identify or show that this person is their property. So we have a lot of different signs that you can see, especially when somebody's behavior just changes significantly.
All right, this is it's disturbing to even hear that this is here in our area. Jamie, let's talk about the summit today. Why did you guys decide to do it, and what's your message for folks who might be interested? And also, if you can comment on the target audience here and who's going to be in attendance.
Absolutely. We decided to do this because we know that human trafficking is occurring in every community throughout Illinois, throughout the United States, and throughout the world. And so what we wanted to do was bring attention locally to this issue. We, here in Kane County, we have a beautiful town, St. Charles, the town that I actually live in. And in 2023, we actually charged 5 different people for human trafficking out of an apartment that was close to our police department here. And that was because one person started to see signs of women coming in and out and men coming in and out and believed that something was happening. And as a result of that, we saved at least over a dozen women who were being trafficked not only here, but in the Chicagoland area. The summit today is for police officers, social workers, counselors, students, and just people within the community who want to learn a little bit more about this problem and how they can be a part of the solution.
And it is free, correct? It's open to the public and it's free to attend.
It is, absolutely.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What resources are offered right now in Kane County for anyone who, you mentioned the women there in St. Charles, offered for survivors of human trafficking?
So we do have a lot of resources. One of the partnerships that we have is with Naomi's House, who provides a lot with shelter. Reclaim 13 does the same, and they provide counseling and resources to get out of the situation that they're in. In Kane County, we actually now have a human exploitation unit whose sole role within the community is to investigate and prosecute human trafficking. We also have advocates and resource advocates who get services to people who have been victimized by these traffickers. We have many shelters, and in Kane County, we have the Community Crisis Center as well as Mutual Ground that could provide immediate aid for shelter as well as counseling and other resources to really help these victims become survivors.
All right, Kane County State's Attorney Jamie Mosser, glad you guys have been so proactive out there to tackle this issue. We appreciate your time this morning. Have a great summit today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. We're going to take a quick break, but we're going to touch on all our top Friday morning headlines when we come back after a short break. It is 7:28.
You're watching Good Day Chicago at 7:30.
We appreciate you joining us. Hope your Friday morning is off to a great start. Here's a look at some of the headlines we're following. The man charged with setting a woman on fire on a CTA Blue Line train is due in court today in about 2.5 hours. Police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire on Monday. That 26-year-old victim is in the hospital. Her family released a statement thanking doctors and also asking for privacy as she is now focusing on her recovery.
The release of hundreds of people arrested during Operation Midway Blitz is now on hold. They were supposed to be released today. A federal appeals court has temporarily blocked a judge's ruling.
The president is going to be meeting with New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani at the White House today. Now, during the campaign, these two exchanged some very harsh words about one another publicly. The president called Mamdani a communist on Truth Social when saying that they were going to meet today. Back here locally, though, things are about to get lit downtown later tonight. Yeah, literally, literally.
You know, Jake is live with the festivities kicking off for the Chicago Christmas tree lighting. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. But, you know, it's not just the tree lighting that's kicking off here at Millennium Park today. Take a look behind me. It's also the official first day, the kickoff of the McCormick Tribune Ice Rink. That's opening today. It runs through February of 2026. Of course, it's always weather permitting. Here's the best part about it, guys. It's our favorite price. It's free. Now, you do want to go to their website and make some reservations. But as you can see, we've got some skaters out here already making use of the ice. And it is perfect timing because, like you said, the 112th annual tree lighting ceremony is also taking place tonight at Millennium Park. There's a pre-show that starts at 5 p.m. The lighting of the tree is going to be at 6:25. The mayor is going to be on hand making a few remarks. And it's that tree behind me that is going to be lit, and it is going to be beautiful. That is a 68-foot Norway spruce coming in from Glenview, donated by the Mason family. Along that 68-foot tree right there, just about only 119,000 Christmas lights. That's about 1,200 different strings. They got 185 of those lit spheres. In addition to the trees, guys, in addition to the ice skating, as if it weren't enough, if you kind of look off in the distance, kind of northeast over there, there's a little market that's going to be opening through the weekend. That's free. You can come out and see everything that they have to offer. Of course, everything happening out here is free for folks to come out and enjoy. You want to plan accordingly, whether it's making a reservation for the ice skating or if you're going to be driving in the distance. You got to want to make sure you're planning on some closures along Michigan, along Monroe, along Randolph. You kind of want to plan the fact that there are going to be a lot of people out here a little bit later, and a lot of people are going to be enjoying the ice skating throughout really the holiday season, guys. If you're wondering to yourself, guys, as I get ready to toss it back to you in the studio, why is Jake not out there skating? I'm going to tell you a quick story. My very first live shot in this city was about 12 years ago on that skating rink.
Uh-oh.
And the only thing I remember is attempting to ice skate live on the air, attempting to do a little hop, and the next thing I knew, my feet were up in the air and my head was banging along the ice.
Brian, are you hearing what I'm hearing?
Me and my boots are going to stay firm on the ground.
Jake, I'm hearing in our ear right now that we've actually got footage. This is a little file video of. Okay, he's doing the hop.
Going to take a little hop.
You know, there's other videos of me.
Hold on, we're standing by. Oh, boom! Oh, Jake Hamilton.
Ooh. You hop with confidence.
The Hamilton Express was derailed right there. Oh, you were horizontal, my friend.
You can still see the dent in the ice in the distance. There's a dent and a small smattering of blood.
I wonder where they are today, if they remember this moment.
The first live shot. Interesting.
And a guy from Texas decided to get on the ice and not just skate, but hop.
Now they're playing it on a loop.
It took me 12 years to learn the value of being on this side of the glass.
Yes, I think that's a smart move.
Have you been ice skating since?
No! have I been ice skating since? Do you ask the guys from Jaws if they've gone out on the water? No.
Fair point.
Very good metaphor
Clint's not
there.
getting
Hey,
back
Jake,
on the boat. I'm not getting back on the ice.
I will say that notwithstanding the fact that you're on dry land, that was a very comprehensive report. I really appreciate it, and thank you to our production team for reaching deep into the archives. Jake Hamilton, live at Millennium Park. I appreciate it, sir.
Thanks, not on the ice, and not going back on the ice anytime soon, apparently.
No.
Right? Well, if you decide to show up at the Naperville Driver Services offices, you might want to make sure it's the right one.
Uh-oh.
Starting today, the office is moved to a spot on Deal Road. It will be open at noon and then start regular hours after today. The old location on West 75th Street closed at noon on Thursday.
You have been warned. You have been warned. All right, Elgin joins the list of cities that are banning ICE from using city property. The council there approved a measure this week to ban ICE from using any city-owned property, like using those parcels of land for staging centers. Signs will have to be posted in both English and Spanish, and city employees will be required to report if they see ICE agents using city property.
The Department of Homeland Security says it has not ended operations in Charlotte, North Carolina. ICE has arrested about 400 people in Charlotte since those operations there began about a week ago. The sheriff of Mecklenburg County, which is where Charlotte is, said yesterday that Border Patrol was going to wind down its operations. But a couple of hours later, the Department of Homeland Security says it is not leaving Charlotte anytime soon. ICE is expected to head to New Orleans at some point soon.
A federal judge is dropping charges against a woman from Chicago who was shot by a Border Patrol agent after allegedly ramming into his car. This ruling came down on Thursday, yesterday, after prosecutors filed to dismiss the case. Marimar Martinez, she's an American citizen, along with her co-defendant, Anthony Ruiz, had both entered not guilty pleas to a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding federal officers.
A crash report on Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland says that police were not chasing him when he crashed earlier this month. Texas police say that Kneeland was running from them at a high rate of speed when he crashed, and then he shot himself. However, The Athletic says that the crash report shows that the chase had ended before Kneeland ended up crashing.
All right, looks like a lot of you are stressed out about the cost of health care. A survey finds that is the biggest worry for half of Americans going into next year. The new West Health Gallup survey found that 20% of people couldn't afford a prescription in the last 3 months. The survey also shows 53% have put off medical treatment because of money and gave the U.S. healthcare system a grade of C.
Ooh, C grade. Well, so we check in with Mike. What is our grade for weather looking like this weekend?
For the weekend, I'm going to give it maybe a B+. You know, last weekend I think it was like an A minus, a B+.
Okay.
You guys misspoke about something a little while ago. You mentioned that the producers had to do some digging to find that clip of Jake. There's actually a button on our switcher in the control room. It's called Jake Fails, and they just hit that, and immediately it cues this up. We've got his field goal attempt ready to go in a moment. So, hey, all kidding aside, he is very lucky that he didn't like bonk the back of his head here. That is dangerous there. You always want to fall forward if you're skating, but Jake, I'm glad you're okay. You did leave a permanent dent in the ice and also in the back of your head there, but he's got enough hair, it protected him. All right, take a look at the sky. Does not look the same as it has the past few days. And for some of us, there are even some glimpses of sunshine out there. So yeah, there's a lot of cloud cover, but we're seeing some breaks here and there. No wind to speak of. 42 degrees at O'Hare. Most of the areas in the 40s. A few spots have dropped into the 30s, including 38 degrees at Waukegan, Woodstock 37, Sugar Grove 36. Northwest Indiana, still in the mid-40s. It's 46 at Gary, 44 at Valparaiso and Merrillville. And there is some fog showing up, at least in patches. Look at this number coming out of the Lansing Airport, which is essentially like a 16th of a mile or so. Not much better at Aurora. So this fog is spotty. You'll see it. It's thick here, not so bad there. Thick here, not so bad there. This will go away later on. What we're going to watch later today is the approach of some rain from the south. I think this might get as far north as I-80, more likely to hit the Kankakee and Illinois River valleys stop there. 50 for the high today. That's warmer than normal. Plenty of clouds, but a few peaks of sunshine are possible. We got a 50 queued up for tomorrow, a 55 on Sunday, another 55 on Monday. Monday night into Tuesday, a couple of showers around, and then it gets colder, 42 for the high on Wednesday. And right now, Thanksgiving looks like a chilly day, but dry, with a high temperature of 35 degrees. Our friend Kathy Abretsky, there in Northwest Indiana, always sends in some cool pictures. And you guys familiar with, you know, the woolly worms?
I've seen those. I've always heard, is it dangerous to touch any of these? Okay,
no.
Isn't there one that you...
Yes,
okay.
yes. The yellow ones with the little white and black spiky things, those are the ones you do not want to touch. But the woolly worms are okay. And according to the amount of orange versus black, supposed to tell you whether it's going to be a warm winter or a cold winter. And because there's so much orange on that one, Kathy Abretsky's prediction, based on that bug right there, it's going to be warm and delightful. Let's go with that.
I like it. Yeah. I'm on board with that. I'll trust that over the Farmer's Almanac.
That's right. The woolly worms will be there next year. The Farmer's Almanac will not be there.
That's right. It's been discontinued, everybody. All right. It's Orange Friday, everybody. We love seeing your pictures each and every week throughout the NFL season.
The whole family.
Look at that. Oh, that's a family of Bears fans. And a little pooch there, little Ewok right there. And Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze jerseys there. These are just great. Keep them coming, everybody. GDC at Fox.com. Attach a picture. We're going to be rolling out new galleries each and every Friday. We'll be right back. Oh.
Nutcracker.
Hey, follow up on a fight over the use of force by agents in Chicago. Federal Judge Sarah Ellis, who has been hearing the case, issued a scathing opinion on the issue. She is the judge that issued a temporary restraining order over the use of force complaints. Her opinion said that agents misidentified people in neighborhoods as agitators and then unleashed tear gas on them. She has ordered for the government to continue handing over body camera footage and reports for any encounters. Well, the Coast Guard has reversed course and now reclassified nooses and swastikas as hate symbols. Earlier on Thursday, the Washington Post reported a Coast Guard policy wouldn't consider them as hate symbols. Now, once that report was published, the Coast Guard put out a new policy that was more strict. The Coast Guard says it will not tolerate any symbols or divisions or hate.
Forgetting your real ID at home could soon cost you $18 at the airport. A proposed rule by the TSA would charge travelers without real IDs and without passports at security checkpoints. This fee would cover the cost of a new alternative identity verification program. The agency says biometric technology would be used in those cases to verify a person's identity and would be valid for 10 days. There's no set date for when this would start. All right, this morning, autism experts, they're outraged over a change that has been made to the CDC website. The site now claims that vaccines may cause autism. The page used to read, quote, "No links have been found between any vaccine ingredients and autism spectrum disorder." But now it says there is no evidence that vaccines do not cause autism. The Department of Health and Human Services continues to challenge the long-held scientific consensus about the safety of these vaccines. Scientists and advocates for people with autism say that they are appalled by the wording on the site.
Well, today, Amazon Prime customers will start receiving payments. This is part of a record $2.5 billion settlement. It stems from a lawsuit surrounding alleged deceptive practices by Amazon, making it difficult for customers to cancel their Prime subscriptions. The FTC says that the first of millions of users started receiving emails last week. Those notifications will continue to be sent through December 24th. Prime customers can claim that their payments through Venmo or PayPal. The members that qualify use those Prime benefits at least 3 times a year. You could receive up to $51, but some customers will get a lot less than that.
Meantime, the bidding war begins, everybody. Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix have each submitted bids for some or all of Warner Brothers Discovery. Right now, Paramount is the only bidder that wants to claim the company's entire portfolio, including its film and TV studios, HBO and HBO Max, and its cable channels like CNN, HDTV, and Food Network. Now, on the other hand, Comcast and Netflix are only interested in the studios and the streaming side of the business there. So from here, the board of Warner Brothers Discovery will now have to decide which bid to pursue. No word yet on which way they're going to lean or if any other companies have expressed interest.
And this could be more incentive to buy annual passes to Disney World. The company says it is bringing dynamic ticket pricing to U.S. parks starting next year. They've already been testing out that system at Disneyland Paris. The system increases the park prices per day based on demand. Disney also does that here in the U.S. based on the date with prices peaking during the holidays and weekends. But with this new system, the prices could change by the hour.
All right, here is a quick look at what is coming up on Good Day Chicago during our 8 and 9 o'clock hours. Keep it right here. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. It's 7:48.
What?
Welcome back. Time now, 7:51. Beautiful live look outside. Clouds still hanging in there so far this Friday morning. As we check in with Mike, you say, though, it feels like it will be the first time all week we've seen the sun.
A few peaks of sun. I'm going to yell over at Caitlin. Did you see any sun when you were driving in at all? Caitlin did not see any sunshine, but you look at that sky, it looks a little brighter. It doesn't have that just dingy gray out there. A little bit of texture to the sky, but there will definitely be more sunshine coming tomorrow and really on Sunday. You know what else is coming? Some cold air. This is the extended outlook, essentially for the weekend after Thanksgiving, going in the first several days of December, and it looks like a little Arctic intrusion is on the way, which would knock temperatures down for a few days. We'll be talking about highs in the 30s, and of course, when it's that cold, you await, hey, could there be a storm coming? At this point, it doesn't look like anything big in our general area, so my fingers are crossed. I don't need any snow yet. 50 degrees today, plenty of clouds with a few peaks of sun possible. Some light rain is possible, I-80 and point south. Nobody's getting a lot of rain from this storm system. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Chillier than what we've been in most of the week. Overnight lows getting into the mid-30s instead of most of us seeing these 40s because of all the cloud cover. Tomorrow, 50 with a decent amount of sunshine. Full-on sun Sunday, at least 55. Could be a few degrees warmer. Monday, we get some rain in here late in the day and at night. That would end on Tuesday morning. We'll still have 50s on the way Tuesday. And then here comes that shot of chillier air. 42 on Wednesday, but it looks dry on Thanksgiving with a high of only 35 degrees. Right?
Well, Mike, this is not what Backstreet's Back is supposed to mean. California police are looking for someone called the Backstreet Bandit. Now, if you look very closely, people say that he looks a lot like A.J. McClain. Maybe if you use your imagination. However, whoever he is, he's accused of stealing packages from an apartment complex. Police say because the guy looks like a Backstreet Boy, the photo is getting a lot more attention than it normally would.
We like to send a clear message to all criminals that crime is not to be committed here. We will find you, we will arrest you. But one thing that we do for our social media is we like to add a little bit of entertainment on there, add a few puns. We're talking about how Backstreet's back and the mail's out, but we definitely want our own mail and we want that back.
It's funny, he was kind of laughing as he was saying that. Well, police are hoping to quit playing games and catch the guy before the holiday season. Apple Music says the competition for Artist of the Year is already over. It is Tyler, the Creator. He had 2 albums in the last year, and they were both played 4.5 billion minutes. Tyler says he's both honored and it's sick. Well, Chadwick Boseman has posthumously received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Boseman was best known as Marvel's Black Panther and was the first black actor to lead a film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He also appears as the character in Captain America: Civil War, Avengers: Infinity War, and Avengers: Endgame. His widow accepted the award, calling him a spiritual teacher and praising his heart and lasting impact.
Today we recognize a lifetime of artistry. We recognize your skill and your devotion, and we cement your legacy as a hero and an icon. You lived with honor and you walked in truth. You are as brilliant as you were beautiful, and as courageous as you were kind. We love you, we miss you.
The star is located at 6904 Hollywood Boulevard, across from the TCL Chinese Theater. Or there's a cat that is large and in charge up in Wisconsin. Greenfield police found him on the street Tuesday morning. That guy's been eating, not eating, missing no meals. Police posted the cat's pics, hoping that the owner would see them. So far, it looks like everyone but the cat's owner have seen these pictures. Cat has been taken to animal control. If no one claims him, he'll be put up for adoption. I'm sure somebody will claim the big guy, right? All right.
That's a well-fed feline.
Well-fed. Not missing any meal.
No.
Right? All right, time is now 7:55 this morning. Keep it right here. We got more Good Day Chicago still to come on this Orange Friday.
Take a break.
All right, what's the first smell you think of when you hear Grand Central Station in New York? All right, Grand Central, apparently they put some diffusers around the tracks to make things smell better. It is a campaign from Bath and Body Works. The old smell will return, apparently, at the end of the month.
Oh, come on. They could have given us a little more time than that, or forever. The Transportation Department says you need to mind your manners when you fly. It says outbursts on planes have gone up 400% since 2019, and 20% of flight attendants say there's been physical incidents. The Transportation Department wants people to stop wearing pajamas and go back to the days when people dressed up to fly. All right, Mike Kaplan has to take a look at the raccoons in this video because he's the raccoon whisperer.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, a study says raccoons are becoming domesticated. You can tell because their snouts are getting shorter. The study says raccoons are eating more human trash and longer snouts are needed for seeking out food in the wild. If raccoons keep getting comfortable, it'll become worse with each generation.
Huh. Or better, because they could be cute little companions. Okay. Here we go with the battle of the bagels. A D.C. bagel chain is suing a New Jersey bagel shop because of the names. Okay, the D.C. version is Call Your Mother. Jersey, they say that Jersey's version, Call Your Booby, is too close. And the D.C. shop says customers are confused, so it has sent cease and desist letters. The Jersey shop has not responded. I like Call Your Booby a little better.
It's got a little ring to it, yeah. The Rats are looking for a ride in New York City. Everything, what's going on in New York City?
Oh, that's a big one, too.
It is. Not that you'd be surprised by what we're seeing, but 2 women in Queens say a rat came out from under their hood while on the way to LaGuardia. The women tried to use windshield wipers to knock it off, but it took them taking a corner to send the rat flying. Oh, poor rat.
And I guarantee that rat survived. They're survivors.
They have more than 9 lives.
Yeah, they do. It's unlimited. Okay, this is a real moving violation in Ohio, all right? A cow got out of a trailer that was stopped on the interstate. And since cowboys apparently don't live in Ohio, it took police more than an hour to catch the cow. This would not have happened in Texas.
You know it would not.
It would not have happened in Texas.
You know it would not.
They actually had to shut down the interstate to do this. Cow's okay. Unless it was headed straight to the, we'll call it a facility, but
for a procedure.
Yeah, for a procedure.
All right, it's not been a great year for the Rice Bowl. Okay, Rice is going to offer free beer and ice cream to get people to come to the game against North Texas. Students will also get a $15 food truck voucher and a chance to win a $500 grocery gift card. Nice. The Owls are 5-5 on the year. North Texas is 9-1. So you can kind of see where this is going.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, get some freebies.
Incentive.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope this is not bad karma that we're about to show this.
It's so tough.
Because I just feel for her. Miss Jamaica. Yeah. Oh, she took a little spill off the stage during the evening gown portion of the Miss Universe pageant. Now, she is fine. Okay, she's fine. It looked like a tough fall there, but you could be sure that one judge from Russia deducted points for the fall. Miss Mexico wound up winning that pageant, but I hope you're okay.
Good Day Chicago at 8 starts now.
Feeling festive. Chicago is about to kick off the holiday season in style. We have a live preview.
All right, now boarding for planes, trains, and automobiles. We are going to have a live look at Thanksgiving travel.
And taking a live look outside. Still looking a little hazy outside this morning. So hopefully if you're getting ready to take a flight today, they have no issues. But Caitlin Cody is standing by to get us up to date.
By the way, this is the prettiest color.
Oh, thank you. It's Orange Friday. Is it giving red on screen?
I don't know.
I put it on for Orange Friday.
Even in person, it's like, is it coral? Is it red? Is it orange?
What is it giving?
It's great. The answer is yes.
Yeah. All of the above.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about the weather today, you need to wear something bright because it is going to be another cloudy day, and we have the chance for some rain, especially south of Chicago. Satellite and radar shows we have dry skies right now, but the clouds are definitely out there, and we even have some fog that has developed again this morning. Temperatures are going to be fantastic, though. Can't wait to show you that in a moment. First, though, checking in on our visibility. We're down to a half-mile visibility in Aurora. You can see where that fog is located as we get south of the city, Chicago Heights. You're at a quarter mile of visibility, 3 3.2 from Merrillville to Kankakee. From our Shed Aquarium camera, I see a few thin spots out there in the clouds. A little bit of blue sky shining through. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s right now. It's 44 degrees at the lakefront, 43 at O'Hare as well as Midway, 37 in Aurora, 43 in Morris, and 46 in Kankakee. Our day planner has temperatures right around 47 by 11, by 1, 49. I do expect the highs to be in the 50s today, and that's going to carry us through the weekend. I'll show you that full forecast coming up. Anita.
Caitlin, thank you. The man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA is due in court. The attack happened on the Blue Line on Monday. Police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Lawrence has a court date today at 10 a.m. He's facing domestic terrorism charges, which experts say is unusual.
My suspicion is that either the government is aware of some evidence where this alleged perpetrator made some kind of statement that he was targeting this victim because of her race or her ethnicity. And that would bring it somewhat within the definition of the Patriot Act, where you're trying to intimidate a group of people. So if they have evidence of that, perhaps that explains the decision. It may just be, of course, that they don't have direct evidence of that. He didn't say that, but they're going to try and argue and convince a judge and possibly a jury that that was his intent. His intent was to somehow attack this poor woman in hopes of intimidating other people in whatever class they claim she belonged to.
That was a former prosecutor talking to our Paris Schutz. The victim of the attack is still in the hospital. Her family has asked for privacy as she recovers from her injuries.
A follow-up on the fight over use of force by ICE agents in Chicago. Federal Judge Sarah Ellis, who has been hearing this case, issued a scathing opinion on the issue. She's the judge that issued that temporary restraining order over use of force complaints. Her opinion says agents misidentified people in neighborhoods as agitators and then unleashed tear gas on them. She has now ordered the government to continue handing over body cam footage and reports from any of those interactions. A federal judge as well is dropping charges against a woman from Chicago who was shot by a Border Patrol agent after allegedly ramming into his car. This Thursday ruling came hours after prosecutors filed to dismiss the case. Marimar Martinez, she's an American citizen, along with her co-defendant, Anthony Ruiz, had both entered not guilty pleas to a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding federal officers.
A federal judge has also ruled that the National Guard's deployment to Washington, D.C. is illegal. The judge found while the president has the authority to protect federal property, he can't deploy troops to D.C. to help with crime control. The White House says that it stands by their decision. The order has been put on hold for 21 days to allow for an appeal. And President Trump is accusing half a dozen Democratic lawmakers of sedition, punishable by death. The lawmakers, all veterans, posted a video calling on members of the military to defy what they call illegal orders. Democratic leaders are now accusing the president of threatening their safety. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says that President Trump does not want anyone to be executed.
The number of passengers flying through O'Hare has taken flight, exceeding pre-pandemic levels at this point. The recovery being fueled by the two largest carriers. We're talking about United and American. The rebound will give the airport a lift as it overhauls Terminal 1. Work started over the summer and will really pick up in 2026.
Chicago's iconic Chris Kindle Market opens tomorrow, but you can get a sneak peek tonight. The market is holding a preview event at Daley Plaza at 5 p.m. After that, the market will open to the public Friday at 11 a.m. And there's just a whole lot happening downtown. So, you know, you can like pop over to here, pop over there.
Oh, tons.
Yeah, it's going to get a whole lot brighter tonight.
Yeah, Jake joins us live where all the fun will happen for Chicago's big Christmas tree lighting. Jake, take it away, sir.
That's right, guys. And you mentioned the Chris Kindle Mark just a couple of blocks from here. We were just there last night. It was absolutely beautiful. But tonight, something else that's going to be beautiful. That tree right behind me. Take a look at that 68-foot Norway spruce coming in from Glenview by the beautiful, generous donation of the Mason family. That's going to be lit at 6:25. It is the 112th annual tree lighting ceremony here at Millennium Park. 6:25, that baby is going to be lit up with 119,000 Christmas lights. At 5 p.m., there's kind of a pre-show. The mayor is going to be on hand to speak. It's going to be a really beautiful ceremony that for many people, guys, kind of kicks off the holiday season here in Chicago. And while we are excited for the mayor to come out and say a few words and get the tree lit and get people excited, guys, I brought in the big guns today. I brought in the A-team to tell us a little bit about the festivities happening over here. The big man himself. Santa, can I get a hug? Oh, Santa's here. Santa is here. Santa, how you feeling?
Oh, I am wonderful, Jake. You've gotten a little taller since last year.
Just a little. Well, it's the lifts. It's the lifts and the boots.
Well, you keep up the good work.
I appreciate you. It's got a lot of fun out here tonight.
Absolutely. The weather is fantastic. I need everybody to come on down to Millennium Park this evening for the tree lighting. We're really going to have a good time.
It's going to have a lot of fun. You know, in addition to the tree lighting, Santa, obviously the ice rink is open over here to the right. What are the chances Santa's going to slip on some ice skates and get out there a little bit later?
Well, Santa doesn't want to risk any injury because we've got a pretty busy day coming up in about a month.
Listen, yeah, you got a lot of preparation before that, but it's all on hold because are you going to be here tonight for the tree lighting ceremony?
I will indeed be here tonight. I need for everybody out there to come and see us.
See, guys, that's how you know that this tree lighting ceremony is big, it's important, it's beautiful, because as busy as Santa is, he's putting all things on hold, and he's coming out here tonight. So, guys, you know I only bring the big names on Fox 32 on Good Day Chicago, and we got one today. Santa, bring it in, baby. Hey, really quick, how's Anita Blanton? How's naughty or nice list? How's she looking?
You know, the last check from my elves, she's got a little work to do.
Uh-oh. Blanton, what have you been doing? What have you been doing?
And see, I was going to say Santa is looking great.
Yeah. Butter him up now,
Yeah.
Anita. You got a little work. Let's see. You got about a month.
Put in a good word.
A month and change.
Santa, you look like you slimmed down a little bit.
Merry Christmas.
She says you look slim. She's trying to get back on the good list, Santa.
Oh, that is
sucking up,
too
man.
funny.
Cookies always work.
Cookies.
I'll get started tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Cookies, milk,
Yeah.
all that stuff. All right, Caitlin.
All right.
Big day
Big
for
day.
Santa
Yeah.
in the city of Chicago. How are we doing outside for that big
It's
tree
so
lighting?
nice.
Oh, good.
So nice.
Good.
The temperature will be fantastic, so you'll be comfortable. I know there's lots of festivities going on. There's some parades throughout Chicagoland happening this weekend. We are going to be in the 50s, okay? Wonderful. This morning, though, we have clouds, and unfortunately, we have a little bit of fog out there, especially south of Chicago. You can see that rain starting to move into southern and central portions of Illinois and Indiana. There's a small chance for some wet weather this afternoon, especially south of the city, too. So let's get into it. First of all, temperatures outside this morning are ranging in the 30s and 40s. Right now, it is 44 degrees at the lakefront, but 43 at O'Hare and Midway. 39 in Chicago Heights, 37 in Aurora. Temperatures in northwest Indiana. Most of you are sitting in the mid-40s right now, but here's your future cast. So again, we have the potential for some rain, especially from locations I-88, which is right here, points south throughout the afternoon. Temperatures are going to be reaching the upper 40s and low 50s for many. As we get on into this evening, 7:15, still a few showers around, but then we dry out overnight tonight. This weekend is going to be wonderful. Not only do we get the sunshine, but I mentioned how it is going to be a mild weekend ahead. 11:30 tomorrow morning. We're already in the upper 40s. I do expect highs to be pushing into the 50s again, not only on Saturday, but especially on Sunday. Even the mid-50s expected for some on Sunday. We'll take a look at your full 7-day forecast, including cooler air and the chance for rain returning next week, coming up.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. Appreciate it. It's 8:10, and this year Thanksgiving travel is expected to break new records. We've got a live report from one of the busiest airports in the country to show you just how crazy things are.
All right, and we've got more weather on the way, but first, here's your 7-day forecast.
Dad, it's really cold in here.
Yeah, I think the furnace is out again.
Dad, the toilet's backed up again. Dad, power's out downstairs.
Great. Heating, plumbing, electrical all at once.
Lucky us. Dad, just call Four Seasons. They can fix everything. Your trusted local experts.
Whether it's heating, plumbing, or electric, call your trusted local experts at Four Seasons today.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
It's one of those days.
Welcome back, 8:13 Friday morning. We have a follow-up on this whole fight over use of force by ICE agents in Chicago.
Yeah, ongoing situation here. So federal judge Sarah Ellis issued a scathing opinion on the issue. She is the judge that issued that temporary restraining order, the injunction, the preliminary injunction over use of force complaints. Her opinion is that agents misidentified people in neighborhoods as agitators and unleashed tear gas on them. She's ordered the government to continue handing over body camera footage and reports from any encounters.
The man charged with setting a woman on fire on the CTA is due in court. Police say Lawrence Reed doused the woman in what was likely gasoline before setting her on fire. Reed is facing a terrorism charge, has a court date today at 10 a.m. The victim is in the hospital. Her family did release a statement. That statement thanked doctors. It also asked for privacy as the 26-year-old victim focuses on her recovery.
A federal court is temporarily halting the release of hundreds of Operation Midway Blitz detainees. A district judge previously ruled to allow their release on a $1,500 bond, but the Trump administration appealed that. The detainees were scheduled to walk free today. They will now have to wait until the next court hearing, which is scheduled for December 2nd. 8:15 right now. Let's get back over to Caitlin Cody and find out what's going on this weekend with so many things going on.
Perfect weather this weekend. Today, we have some clouds around. We also have some fog and even the chance for rain this afternoon. The temperatures, though, not bad. Let's start there. First of all, as mentioned, we do have mostly cloudy skies. It's keeping those temperatures elevated early today as we are seeing the 30s and 40s. It's already 44 degrees at the lakefront and 43 at O'Hare, 37 in Aurora as our cold spot, 38 at Woodstock and Waukegan. Temperatures in northwest Indiana in the mid-40s. Here's our satellite and radar view. The rain is still well south of Chicagoland, but we could see a few of those showers creeping in, especially from I-88 south today. A closer look, though, at the satellite shows just how covered in gray Chicagoland is yet again. Now, I will say this. I've seen some live cameras outside, and there is some peaks of blue, so thin spots in these clouds. Our futurecast shows that rain, as mentioned, a few light rain showers possible today before high pressure builds in. And tonight, drier weather will return this weekend. We have sunshine. So finally, Saturday and Sunday, not only is it going to be very mild with highs in the 50s, but we have no rain in the forecast and plenty of sunshine to go around. This is going to push us, you can see, even into Sunday morning. High pressure is in control. So talking about high temperatures, our normal high today is 46. I do expect to be right around 50, upper 40s near the lake. Tonight, we're dropping down to the upper 20s and the 30s. Even the upper 30s as we get closer to the lake. Tomorrow's high temperature back to about 51. It's going to be a really lovely weekend. The chance for rain is back next week. I'll show you when on your 7-day forecast ahead. Anthony.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. Appreciate it. We are learning more about President Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine. The AP has obtained a draft proposal of that plan, and it includes Ukraine ceding territory to Russia and also limiting the size of Kyiv's military. It would also prevent the future expansion of NATO, which is something the Kremlin has really been pushing for. Also, $100 billion in frozen Russian assets would be dedicated to rebuilding Ukraine. The war in Ukraine has now been going on for more than 3.5 years.
The NTSB releasing new images of the deadly UPS plane crash in Louisville earlier this month. They show the moment the plane's left engine just separated from the left wing during takeoff. The NTSB says a fire then ignited on the left engine as it went up and over the main cabin on the plane. You see the plume of smoke there. According to a new report, federal investigators are focusing on metal cracks around the plane's engine.
I think the fireball got my attention because, again, you have to put things in perspective. Was it the engine that failed first that caused the separation, or did the engine separate and then cause the catastrophic fire? And in this case, it was the engine separating followed by the fire.
The NTSB says the plane was not due for a detailed inspection of the engine mount that fractured. 14 people were killed in that crash. Well, the president is set to meet with the mayor-elect of New York City today.
Awkward. Okay, it could be tense, considering what these guys have said about one another publicly over the last few months. Doug Luzader has more.
We may see some sparks fly through this meeting, but there may also be some common ground despite the gulf between these two. It doesn't sound like the White House is exactly rolling out a red carpet today.
It speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House.
That is part of the welcome for Zohran Mamdani, the soon-to-be mayor of New York City, who will sit down with the president today in the Oval Office. As a Democratic socialist, he's ideologically miles away from the president, who he taunted back on election night.
I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
The president, too, made his distaste clear, repeatedly calling Mamdani a communist.
I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
This is an opportunity to make the case for New Yorkers.
Just yesterday, Mamdani explained why he was meeting with Trump, and he tried to find some common thread among their supporters.
This meeting is between 2 very different candidates who they voted for the same reason. They wanted a leader who would take on the cost of living crisis that makes it impossible for working people to afford living in this city.
And from the president, perhaps an olive branch.
We want to see everything work out well for New York.
And some interesting timing here on Capitol Hill. The House is set to take a vote today on condemning socialism. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
All right, today on Chicago Now, in about an hour and 40 minutes, we're going to be talking about the Chicago Botanic Garden, about this year's lightscape. It's always awesome, what we will be dazzled by. Yelp is here to talk about its 2026 food and drink report and what the big trends are going to be next year. Perhaps those NA beverages have been big recently. A former Survivor contestant will be in studio as well from Chicago to tell us what it's really like to be on that reality show. A jam-packed hour on Chicago Now. We hope you stick around for that.
Welcome to
Buckle in, buckle in. The travel chaos begins around the country as America gets ready to celebrate Thanksgiving.
A collective woo-saw from all of us in advance. Caroline Levitt joins us now from the world's busiest airport in Atlanta.
Caroline Elliott. You said Levitt.
Oh, did I?
The White House spokesperson.
So
we got
sorry.
Caroline
Elliott, yes, right there in front of me. About the airports, please.
Good morning, Anthony, Anita. Yeah, no, it happens all the time, actually. So all good here. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about travel today, which airports are looking a lot better than they were last week after this government shutdown ended. So that's good news for travelers. But the true test, that's going to be on Wednesday when a lot of people are heading out, flying out to see family. And the question now is, will airlines be ready? Well, airlines say, yep, they say they are ready. They say even though they took a hard hit during the shutdown, they are now well prepared to handle the 31 million passengers expected to fly during Thanksgiving week. But some travelers aren't so sure.
Because of the government shutdown, you did have some folks canceling plans. The Points Guy had a poll with YouGov and found that about 40% of people were either canceling, rescheduling, thinking about canceling Thanksgiving or Christmas flights.
Delta Airlines says canceling your plans is not necessary, saying while the government shutdown is behind us, we understand the uncertainty may have led you to rethink or reschedule your travel plans. They went on to say, rest assured, our operations are running normally. And the same goes for American Airlines. The airline says 80,000 flights are on the schedule for Thanksgiving week. And United also says it's ready to fly a record number of passengers next week. In fact, the airline says it saw a 15% jump in holiday bookings after the shutdown ended. The question now is the weather going to cooperate? Anita, Anthony?
We're certainly hoping it does.
We have just the person standing with Caroline. Thank you so much.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Safe travels to you.
Thank you. Let's get the answer to Caroline's question from Caitlin Cody, who is standing by. You say things right now look like they're going to be smooth.
Yeah, right now for us, locally, as of now, looks pretty good. Yeah, we do have the chance for a little bit of rain early next week. But before we get there, let's talk about this weekend because it is going to be fantastic. Today, it's going to be a little bit cloudy, but the temperatures are expected to be in the upper 40s and low 50s this weekend. We have the sunshine and 50s. A full check of your forecast is ahead.
Celebrity.
8:28. There is a look at the White House. You can actually see that East Wing under construction in that live shot right there. And of course, we always have a lot to talk about with Fox News Sunday host Shannon Bream, who joins us this morning. A little preview of her program on Sunday. Shannon, happy Friday.
And to you, Anthony, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Glad it's Friday. All right. We know the one big story on everyone's mind has been on everyone's mind who follows politics throughout the week. The president signing this bill with regard to the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. So now the DOJ is kind of up against the clock to release these in a searchable format. That's my understanding. So what does the timeline look like on this? And what do you expect the next few weeks to look like on Capitol Hill with regard to these files?
Yeah, this could be the holiday gift that doesn't give. We don't know yet because this is, 30 days or so. This stuff's got to be out there and, as you said, in a searchable database and accessible for people to look at. Some folks are saying temper your enthusiasm or excitement because there's been a lot of material out there for years. If it, with all the Oppo research and everything else, if there was a big Dem or a big Republican named in this, we would have heard it by now. That's the argument. Now, maybe we see new material, and there will be some revelations because this is supposed to get into DOJ's investigative files, deals that were made, agreements that were made. So maybe there will be something fascinating, interesting. The DOJ is probably going to say we can't give you information with ongoing investigations. As you now know, there's a U.S. attorney in New York who's picked up potentially to look into Democrats specifically. But lawmakers are pointing out, many of them, that what we just passed and got signed and is, been working its way through, it actually has language that says you have to give us stuff from current investigations too. But that's probably going to be a legislative versus executive showdown that will probably wind up in court.
Yeah. The drama's far from over on this one. Another big happening today at the White House. New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani expecting to meet face-to-face with the president. Now, these two have exchanged public insults over the last few months. How do we expect this face-to-face meeting to go?
Anthony, wouldn't you love to be in there?
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait to hear the readout from both sides. Here's the thing. These guys share roots. They're both from Queens. They're New Yorkers. They love New York City. They have big divides generationally and politically, the way they see the world. So, but they're both very charming, and they're very good with people. So I think face-to-face, they're going to have a little bit of the meeting of the minds. There'll be maybe just a teeny little bit of kumbaya. But I think they both understand, too, that they're great foils for each other. So over the next 2 to 4 years, they're going to be using each other as punching bags. So maybe a little truce today, but I predict it doesn't last long.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Okay, Shannon, who do you have on this week on Sunday?
So we've got Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Senate Intel Committee, to talk about this peace deal potentially with Russia and Ukraine coming together. Also, the controversy over the strikes off the coast of Venezuela. We've got GOP Senator Eric Schmidt with us, too. And because there's so many legal fights over James Comey, over the Epstein files, over the use of the National Guard, we've got a legal panel, too. A couple of our favorite attorneys.
Okay, very good. Jam-packed lineup. Shannon, have a great show. Have a great weekend in the meantime. We appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, for sure. All right, 8:32. Anita, I'm going to send things over to you at the desk.
Thank you, sir. Things are about to get lit downtown. Jake is back with another preview of Chicago's Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. All of Millennium Park is gearing up and getting ready for Christmas, for the holiday season, and it all kicks off today. Take a look behind me. It's official. It's open. The McCormick Tribune Ice Rink is open today. It runs through February of 2026. Of course, always weather permitting, so you want to check and make sure if there's a little bit of bad weather in the area. Of course, this is our favorite price. It's free. You can come out here and enjoy it, but you do have to go online and make a reservation. And it's kind of perfect that it's opening today, guys, because as you know, there's something else happening today out here at Millennium Park. The 112th annual tree lighting ceremony is taking place. Take a look at that beauty. That is a 68-foot Norway spruce. Comes in from Glenview, donated generously by the Mason family. That thing is going to be lit at about 6:25 later today. There's going to be a pre-show starting at 5. The mayor's going to be on hand for some remarks. Let me give you just some stats on how impressive this tree is and what it's going to look like a little bit later. There's about 185 lit spheres on this thing, 1,200 strings of lights. What that means is that's 119,000 LED lights along that tree. That means if you stretched out all of the Christmas lights along that tree, guys, it's going 8 miles. 8 miles from start to finish. In addition to the ice skating, in addition to the tree, if it weren't enough, take a look over there. You can kind of see it. There's actually going to be a Millennium Park holiday market. That's happening just this weekend. It's at the Chase Promenade North area of the park. It's happening today through Sunday. Once again, it's all free. Whether you want to visit the holiday market, whether you want to come out to the tree lighting ceremony, of course, take into account some of the roads that are going to be blocked off, Michigan Avenue, Randolph Monroe. It's going to affect traffic. Or whether you want to lace up some skates and come out here and join these very talented folks. Plenty to do out here at Millennium Park as we gear up for the holidays, and we toss it back to you guys in the studio.
Jake, thank you, sir. Appreciate it a lot. Weather's going to be good for all these festivities.
All things.
Yep. 8:35, and you also have a great chance this weekend to see the best in unique goods for home decor, fashion, art, food, the whole 9 yards.
The Market for Makers, I love it, happening in Wheaton. And Sharif Badawi, who is one of the makers and founder of Dar Baklava, is with us. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Anthony. Thanks for having me and having all of us here.
Absolutely. So for those who don't know about the Market for Makers, just give them an idea of what they can expect.
Market for Makers started to support the smaller businesses back in 2015, and hundreds of small businesses that focus on unique art, fashion, food, things that are all handmade with an artisan touch that you really wouldn't find anywhere else. And hundreds of those vendors have been working with Market for Maker for 10 years now. And you will see 90 of those today in the DuPage Event Center this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 5 p.m. So all these small businesses are really excited to meet all of you.
Okay, perfect timing with the holidays coming up for gift givers. Okay, so give us an idea of some of the specific items that are going to be available, maybe a little bit about the price range.
Sure. So we can start here with that's my company as a background. We started Dar Baklava. I'm a pediatrician downtown and a marathon runner growing in Egypt, and I wanted to bring something that is delicious, that is unique, that is also healthy with a clean label. So this is perfect for a holiday, which is our bestseller kind of gift box, a big size and a small size, anywhere between $30 to $50, 20 to 40 pieces. And then we have the snack packs, which is like 3-4 pieces each, very tiny, handmade, crafted, loaded with nuts. You can put it in that gift box, and you can have it for also around $30 to $40. And then we have a number of other products, really beautiful ones, starting with like Home Body, which is small batch, clean label candles and very aromatic products. Moving on to Render Goods, which is, recycled plastic bottles that became now beautiful, handcrafted towels, definitely great for like Christmas gifting and just so elegant. Moving to Nimba, which is kind of hydrating formula for skincare. Also kind of, again, small batches made with really kind of love, and for many people can benefit from with all these different products. And then moving on, as an example, we'll see some more artwork rather than body care or like food. And here we see Kristen, who really takes so much care in creating these beautiful artwork to help us kind of stop, reflect, and just feel the moment. Inspired by nature, connecting to nature with everything, again, handmade from scratch.
Sharif, it's so
and then we
amazing.
move to the last one.
You know, let me
Yeah,
ask you
it's
this.
just
We're
beautiful,
almost,
isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost out of time, but I do just want you to touch on the importance of people shopping local, shopping small, any time of year, but especially right now, the difference this makes for you all and the small businesses.
I think, you know, it definitely is super important for us because we want to support the community and we love the community supporting us. And all of us as a small businesses, we look forward to the holiday to connect with people, right? To actually feel that kind of holiday spirit and also kind of, you know, celebrate with everybody this moment. It's very important for us and for everybody coming here. I would say both small businesses and for families and kids. And there will be a lot of activities for kids as well, like photo booth, craft that people can do on their own, and definitely a lot of shopping for things that you likely will not find anywhere else except here.
What a great thing. Sharif, I love what you're doing out there at the Page Event Center. Appreciate your time. And happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thanks, Anita.
All right.
I also love it because it gets us all the way from Amazon.com.
You know what? And it really just underscores like the need for small businesses and how we play a role in that. So I love how that kind of comes back around. Small Business Saturday right after Thanksgiving. Go make sure you shop local. And this is the kind of weather where you do kind of feel like, all right, we don't have an excuse. It's not raining, not snowing. You know, it's not the worst.
That's right. It's actually the best. This weekend is going to be fantastic. Also, with those small businesses, I feel like they're their little passion projects. Do you know what I mean? They really, they put a lot into it. All right, temperatures outside this morning, we're in the 40s and 30s. Some of us in the upper 30s. West of Chicago for the city, we're at 44 degrees at the lakefront, 43 at O'Hare, 37 in Aurora, 38 in Waukegan. Temperatures in northwest Indiana in the mid-40s. So we are starting off with mostly cloudy skies. We even have some fog out there and a small chance for some light rain today. Temperature-wise, though, we're reaching about 50 degrees with that north breeze at 5 miles per hour. As we get into tonight, quiet conditions, drier skies will return. But let's take a look at the timeline of this wet weather. Again, the best chance for rain is going to be along and south of I-88. A few light showers this afternoon into this evening before that drier air does return. Temperatures are going to feel good tonight, getting down to 33, but tomorrow we're back to 51 degrees with a southwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 7-day forecast this weekend, lovely, 54 on Sunday with sunshine both on Saturday and Sunday, which I think we all could use a little bit of sunshine. As we head into early next week, Monday afternoon into Tuesday, we have the chance for some rain showers. 55 expected to be our high, though, on Monday. Tuesday, 56. So today through Tuesday in the 50s, and then we are going to see those temperatures drop, expecting to be in the mid-40s by Wednesday. And then for Thursday, big important forecast, 36 degrees.
Okay, all right, Caitlin, thank you very much. It's 8:41. Before we head to break, here are some more of your lovely Orange Friday images. There's Walter Payton. I saw him quickly there. We love these photos you guys have been sending in of you in your Bears gear or here on the home of the Bears. Keep them coming. GDC at Fox.com. We're going to be unveiling a new gallery each and every week throughout the season. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Just about 8:45 right now. Data from the National League of Cities shows Native American people experience the second highest rate of homelessness in the U.S. It's astounding. A local organization is doing what it can to help, though. Shelley Tuzzarelli with the Chicago American Indian Community Collaborative is here to talk about a new survey on housing insecurity. And you say that the survey aims to change city and state policy.
Absolutely. What we did, we received our first homeless grant from the Chicago Funders Together to End Homelessness. And with this grant, we currently have a homeless needs assessment being done with the survey, and we've also been doing interviews with our Native community, because what we need to do first is find out what the needs are in order to assess those needs. And one of the biggest needs ways to address that need is to provide affordable housing.
Yeah, sure.
And in order to do that, we are joint venturing with Full Circle Communities Visionary Ventures is to develop the first urban Native American housing development in Chicago's history, targeted to the Native American community. It's going to be 45 units of affordable housing. It's called Jigsabeek, and that means at the river's edge, because we're close to the Chicago River, and water means life to our community. So being able to address those needs for our community. And we do have a few other initiatives that we're doing right now. We've got pop-up pantry, food pantry at the Tunica Biloxi office. It's at 600 West Cermak. And we're also and that's Tuesday and Thursday from 10 till 5. And then on Thursdays, we're doing food distribution boxes from St. Kateri Center on Irving Park. And that is on Thursdays from, I believe it's from 10 till 7 at night. So
God bless you all for all that you're doing and for serving, meeting a need at this time. I'd love to know, like, how you all went about choosing the Jigsabeek site. I love the meaning, but how did you all choose that site?
The reason we chose that site is because it's so close to our other community organizations, the American Indian Center, our American Indian Health Services, St. Kateri Center, or the Horner Park, which is just a little east there on Irving Park. And being able to provide, having those services so close is going to be so beneficial to the residents.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously there are some things that you all are doing right now for the season, some things that you all are doing on a regular basis, but what is the next big thing for you all?
One of the next things is, you know, once we can stabilize some of our community members in affordable housing, going that next step and doing home ownership and being able to let our community members see that vision of being able to own their own home is very important.
Wow. Well, it's going to be beautiful to watch it all come to fruition. I know it will.
Yes.
I can tell from your heart that you're and your passion for it that it will. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being on to share it with everyone. Is there a way that people can help you all in what you're doing?
Absolutely. If you're interested to help with our food pantries, our homeless efforts, and also the food distribution boxes, you can go to the CAKE website, Chicago American Indian Community Collaborative, and there's a place there to donate, and we would appreciate big or small donations. It would really help our community. We really appreciate it.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I love the holistic approach that you all take.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Wonderful meeting you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Let's talk about this weather outside. It's 8:48. Caitlin, what's happening for the weekend?
You know, it's so funny. I just have to point out, I love watching the Bean because everybody is out there right now taking selfies and posing. It's Friday in the city. It's going to be a mild day today. We have some thin cloud cover out there, although I am still calling it mostly cloudy. That's where I want to start. I want to show you our Shed Aquarium camera because you can see some peaks of blue out there. It is going to be a lovely feeling day. Temperatures climbing to the upper 40s and low 50s this afternoon, but we do have a small chance for some wet weather. Behind me, satellite radar shows that the rain currently is still south of Chicagoland, but the potential for some light rain is creeping in, especially as we get into the afternoon, and especially from Chicago Point South. Speaking of Chicago Point South, that's where the dense fog is located this morning. We're down to a quarter mile of visibility in Valpo as well as in Morris, so you could see some fog out there along with the clouds. Temperatures are in the 30s for a few of us still. Holding on to 37 degrees at Woodstock and 38 in Waukegan, 44 though at the lakefront and 43 at Midway. Here's your futurecast with that chance for some light rain, as I mentioned, especially this afternoon. Then by this evening, drier skies are going to slowly start to work their way in. Temperatures tonight dropping down to the 20s and 30s, but then Saturday we're back to about 50 degrees and it's going to be a beautiful day. We've got sunshine on Saturday and on Sunday. As we take a look at early next week, that's when the chance for rain does return. Your 7-day forecast shows you 55 degrees on Monday with the potential for some wet weather in the afternoon, at night, and into Tuesday. Tuesday's high 56, 45 on Wednesday, 36 on Thursday. So these temperatures are going to slowly start to drop next week. But in the meantime, we've got the 50s today all the way through Tuesday, at least. A long stretch of very mild weather. It's 8:49. We'll be right back.
Fox 32.
Welcome back. Forgetting your real ID at home could soon cost you $18 at the airport.
A proposed rule by the TSA would charge travelers without real IDs or a passport at security checkpoints. This fee would cover the cost of the new alternative identity verification program. The agency says biometric technology would be used to verify a person's identity and would be valid for 10 days. There is no set date for when this would start.
Today, Amazon Prime customers will start receiving payments as part of a record $2.5 billion settlement. This all stems from a lawsuit surrounding alleged deceptive practices by Amazon to make it difficult for customers to cancel their Prime subscriptions. The FTC says the first of millions of users started receiving the emails last week. Those notifications will continue to be sent through December 24th. Prime customers can claim their payments through Venmo or PayPal. The members that qualify use those Prime benefits at least 3 times a year. You could receive up to $51, but some customers will get less than that.
All right. Well, it's something.
Yeah.
Some students on the West Side are getting creative with music. You know, that gets us like, oh yeah. Bandwidth provides free music training and a space where they grow stronger together.
And today, their new building opens in East Garfield Park. Photojournalist Jacob Karp takes us inside to show us what hope sounds like.
This is a really good community.
My favorite part is like just showing up.
We're opening up to the community our new performance space for youth and the entire community to enjoy. We do offer band, choir, dance, drumline, and studio engineering.
The impact that this program has had on my life is like I learned many valuable life skills, and not just music. Like it taught me how to be patient, kind, and forgiving, and like how to be a better person.
I've been in this organization since 3rd grade. This is a really good community for people who are just out there, who want to find some a place to be, some instruments to play, a place to feel loved, a place to feel supported for your dreams. This is the place to come to.
Any facet of the performing arts develop a child holistically. So socially, emotionally, it also boosts morale.
For the choreography, I didn't want to do any of that because I was so shy, but then after years of doing it, I'm like, this isn't actually so bad. Once I break out of my shell, it actually helped me like be more confident in my dances. It helped me like get over my fears.
So eager to try and be the best on drums, do better at drums, even while still figuring out my rhythms and all that. Being in bandwidth taught me time etiquette, taught me just proper etiquette to perform well, how to apply yourself to college, mainly just how to put yourself out there and be a better person than you came in.
Having this building is a tremendous opportunity for Bandwidth to grow, reach more young people, engage the community, and give back through the arts.
My favorite memories coming here is when we go on tour and we get to see how many people appreciate music.
And we all like come together as a big group.
It was just performing in school gyms, then started applying us, getting books for gigs, stuff like that, like Andy's Jazz Club, Talia Hall. We played with the Blackhawks a couple of times. We played with the Bears drumline back in 2023. That was like the best performance we had, especially with all them eyes on us.
When the community knows that they have a safe space for their young people, and then ultimately a safe space for the adults in the community and the people around the community, it breeds positive growth and development within a community.
Happy Orange Friday to you. Here's a look at what's coming up this 9 o'clock hour. We start with, can the Bears keep it going against the Steelers? Set a march to win the division title. Luke Canello will be with us for a preview of what we can expect as we are facing a very familiar arch enemy this weekend. So hopefully we can take care of Mr.
Does he still own the Bears? I can't remember.
Well, we certainly hope he does not, yeah. But we shall see. The city is going to look a lot like Christmas, too. We'll give you a preview of tonight's Christmas tree lighting and tell you what you need to know about it. We should ask the big man if he could put the Bears on the list, on the good list. You know, that's probably a part of it. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. The tree isn't the only thing lighting up the city. We also get a preview of the Mag Mile Lights Festival and when you can attend.
With all these holiday festivities, we got to know what is it going to look like this weekend as Caitlin joins us for a look at the forecast. Looks nice out there right now.
The shadows.
Sun. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the sun. Look at the bean. The reflection. You see some blue sky. You guys.
In the background.
The sun. It exists. I promise.
We've missed you, son.
Oh my goodness gracious. This weekend is going to be lovely. Not only is it going to feel good, but it's going to look good too. So let's get into our weather headlines. First of all, showers today. Yes. We have the chance for a little bit of rain, especially from Chicago Point south. 50s, though, expected not only today, but through the weekend and even into most of next week. Cool down expected by the later part of next week. But before we get there, let's focus on sunshine. For the Bears game, it's going to be wonderful. Temperatures outside right now ranging now in the 40s. The 30s have disappeared. 45 at the lakefront now, as well as O'Hare. 46 at Midway and Joliet. 43 in Aurora. So it feels pretty good. We do have the cloud cover, though. Mostly cloudy skies hanging with us through the day. Chance for rain is creeping towards us. So far, so good. The rain remains south of Chicagoland, but we do have that potential, as mentioned, throughout the afternoon. Satellite radar, a closer look does show those few breaks that we're seeing from those camera shots, which is lovely. Our futurecast has high pressure anchored north, low pressure moving past us to the south, and that's what's bringing us that potential for a few light showers today. We're drying out tonight, and this weekend is looking downright lovely. So talking about temperatures, today we expect to be right around 50 degrees compared to our normal high of 46, just slightly above that. Tonight dropping down to the 20s and 30s, and then tomorrow temperatures back to the low 50s. It's going to be a really nice weekend. We'll take a look at your full 7-day forecast with Kaplan ahead.
Okay, Caitlin, thank you. Mike Kaplan was over here pointing out one of our cameras.
The shed cam. I actually see a glowing orb in the sky. What is that?
Oh, my goodness. Here we were waiting for Santa. The sun said, wait a minute, I got something. Yeah.
There's your lights festival.
Exactly. There's a big holiday party planned tonight in Millennium Park, and it's going to be lit.
Jake has got the festive details.
That's right, guys. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas here at Millennium Park, and a big reason why, that beautiful baby right behind me. Take a look at that. That's the star of the 112th annual tree lighting ceremony taking place a little bit later today at Millennium Park. The pre-show begins at 5 p.m. The lighting itself at 6:25, and there is plenty to light. That is a 68-foot Norway spruce coming in from Glenview. It was donated generously by the Mason family, and let me tell you, the city of Chicago has gotten this thing ready to go. 185 lit spheres, 1,200 strings of lights. That means there's about 119,000 lights on that tree. That means if you were to stretch those lights out from start to finish, that's 8 miles. 8 miles of Christmas lights. And if that weren't enough, that incredible ceremony that's going to be taking place a little bit later today, take a look over here. It's time. It's ready. It's open. The McCormick Tribune Ice Rink is officially open today. That's running through February of 2026. It's always free, but of course you do want to make reservations online, and of course it is always weather permitting. In addition to the tree lighting ceremony, in addition to the ice rink being open, there's also, you can't really see it from here, but on the other side of that tree, there's also a really fun holiday market that's going to be open this weekend as well. So really, this whole area, Millennium Park, it's just a a great area for some holiday festivities, for some Christmas cheer. There's a lot going on, and because there's a lot going on, you do want to take into account that there's going to be a lot of people here tonight. There's going to be some traffic closures. Michigan Avenue, Monroe, Randolph are all going to be affected by everything that's happening here over the coming hours. So you want to take into account, even if you're not coming out here, you want to know that that's going on. Now, maybe you can't make it out to the tree lighting ceremony. Maybe you can't make it out this week or even this month. Guess what? That tree is going to be up and it's going to be lit through January 11th of next year. So you still got a little bit of time. There's plenty going on and plenty of time to do it. On that note, I'm Jake Hamilton here at Millennium Park, tossing it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, let's down the street from there. Bears getting ready to take on the Steelers this Sunday.
The Monsters of the Midway hold the #1 spot in the NFC North, but can they stay there? Luke Canellis is here this morning to talk about what the Bears have to do, and let's just get right to it. The elephant in the room, Aaron Rodgers. He's going to play, isn't he?
I think he will. I think he's too much of a competitor to sit this one out. He practiced yesterday, didn't practice a lot, had something on his left wrist to stabilize the left wrist. That's where the fracture is.
It's a spiked club, isn't it?
Yeah.
On his left wrist.
But, you know, listen, at 41 years old, the guy is just still solid out there. He's not putting up the numbers he did, you know, in his prime during his 4 MVP-type seasons. But I can tell you this. The Bears were a 1.5 favorite, right? Now it's 2.5 because of Aaron Rodgers and whether he's going to play or not. Used to be a time when Aaron Rodgers would affect the line by like a touchdown.
Yeah, a lot of
So
plays.
he's not the same quarterback that he once was. Everyone in Chicago wants to see him play because everyone plans on the Bears knocking off Aaron Rodgers finally and sending home the Pittsburgh Steelers with a loss. I'm not so confident about that, and here's why, guys. The Bears may be without all 3 linebackers. All right, T.J. Edwards has been out. He has had an injury with his hand, and he's had a hamstring injury. And now Tremaine Edmonds, who has been terrific. He's having his best season as a Bear, 3 years with the Bears when he came over from Buffalo as a free agent. Tremaine Edmonds probably won't play, hasn't practiced all week. And Noah Sewell, who's been a backup, may sit out as well. So the Bears would be going with Ruben Hippolyte, who's a rookie, and DeMarco Jackson, who they picked up on waivers, who played for a cup of coffee with Dennis Allen in New Orleans. That's a big worry for me when you're talking about going against a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers.
But the already depleted secondary.
Yeah, well, speaking of the secondary, Jalen Johnson.
Well, you could have Jalen Johnson back. I mean, he had a full practice the other day. I still think that it may take a full week of full practices for Jalen Johnson to get into game shape.
Right.
Because he hasn't been on the football field, Brian, since the beginning of the season.
The Detroit game.
All right, so the last thing you want to do is bring Jalen Johnson back too early. He's not ready, and now you lose him for those final 6 games that will decide whether you're in or out of the playoff party.
Pittsburgh's defense, particularly pass defense, it's last in the league, and they do particularly poorly defending the tight end. Are we going to get a healthy dose of 84 and 85?
I do think we will. I mean, we've seen a lot of Colston Loveland lately. We've seen Cole Kmet have arguably his best game as a Bear last week against Minnesota. Even Durham Smythe got had 3 catches in that football game. Smythe is a guy who's predominantly in the 3 tight end set to help block against that Vikings pass rush. By the way, Pittsburgh with a pretty good pass rush as well, with T.J. Watt leading the way. I think they'll use the tight end. I think they will run the football. All right, I think this is going to be a real physical game, and whoever out-physicals the other team is going to win this football game.
Speaking of if we get a win, that would be 4 in a row. Second time this season. Ben Johnson says he doesn't want to hear about the playoffs. Will that change with a win?
Well, I'm here to tell you that at 7-3, they better get into the playoffs. That would be just an awful collapse. the final 7 games. They have put themselves in a position right now, and I get it. The schedule is significantly tougher, these final 7 games. But look at what happened to Buffalo last night, guys.
Oh, yeah, they got
Look at what
dominated.
happened to the Packers against Carolina. They've lost to the Browns. They almost lost to the Giants last week. The Lions' offense does not look good with Dan Campbell calling the plays. Parity has hit the NFL in a big way. So I get it. Those last 7 games on paper look really tough for this Bears team. They should win 3 of their final 7 games. Even if it doesn't happen Sunday against Pittsburgh, they should still win 3 of those final 6 games. I'll leave you with this.
Okay.
The Steelers are 1-12 at Soldier Field historically against the Bears.
I'm glad he brought that up. Yeah.
The first game at Soldier Field, 1971, September 19th, Bears-Steelers. Bears beat Terry Bradshaw.
Was this Bobby Douglas
and the
at QB, or
Pittsburgh
who was
Steelers back then, 17-15.
Who was our QB in that
I
game?
don't even remember. I think Abe Gibran was head coach.
That was the one game he won?
Yes, exactly. So don't ask me who's going to win this game on Sunday. Because
Hey, Lou, who's going to win this game on Sunday?
I'm not going there.
Not going?
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Maybe you'll feel a little bit different when Bears Game Day Live kicks off on Sunday. At 9:30, of course, you can join Lou, Anthony. They're going to have all the Bears headlines leading up to kick off against the Steelers on Sunday.
Who do you think Big Ant's going to pick?
Big Ant, he doesn't say anything. he never makes a prediction.
Come on.
He's a former NFLer.
All right, well, we know a lot of folks are pulling for the Bears big time. You're wearing your colors, so here are some more of your Orange Friday pictures as we head to break.
"9:13 can't get enough of the sun today because we have not seen the sun in quite some time. So we wish that we could just hold on to this picture and hold on to the sun for that matter. But we'll talk a little bit more about what you can expect weather-wise coming up in just a few moments. We love, though, celebrating our Bears fans specifically on Orange Fridays. and every day. But today, the Bears are bringing their #1 fan to the studio. Jonathan Otten has been named the Chicago Bears 2025 Fan of the Year, and he's going to be representing all of us at the Super Bowl. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You wear that patch well.
Well, thank you.
So what did it feel like just hearing that you had been chosen?
Well, surreal, a little unbelievable.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, being a lifelong Bears fan, how passionate Bears fans are.
Yeah.
And to be selected as the Fan of the Year was a little surreal. But I'm really proud. I'm honored to have this. And I just want to represent the fan base and the organization as best I can.
I'm sure it's a little weight on you, you know. I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, what makes him the #1? I thought I was the #1. What were you doing when you found out? Like, what did that moment look like?
Yeah, that was they got me. So I got a text message saying, hey, we're going to do an interview as a finalist. So I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. So I took this as a job interview to the 9, right? And I took some time off of work, prepped, was ready to go. And it started off as a job interview, and then the Colston Loveland sat down, and I had to double take. You know, I'm from Michigan. I know he went to University of Michigan. I know, you know, that was a thing, and I didn't believe my eyes. And then he told me, and it was awesome.
This is amazing. Just watching the video as you're telling the story. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm about that excited still.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's like, am I doing a double take? Is that who I'm seeing
yeah,
there?
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So your fandom has followed you through every chapter of your life, even during your service in the U.S. Navy. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Can you share what it was like to represent the Bears while serving abroad?
Yes, yeah. So I was in the Navy. I was on the USS Michigan, which is a submarine. My joke is I never left home, but that's far from the truth. I did.
Yeah.
The submarine's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, so the little things that you can connect with home, in this case, the Chicago Bears for me, really, you know, got me through. So we wear poopy suits underway. That's like a little jumpsuit. That's what we call it. And my underneath was, I'd always wear a Bear shirt and I'd wear a hat. And then we'd wear hearing protection in the engine room because it's loud. And so I would draw in my Chicago Bears C and just rep the team. I think it was really special in that 2011 season. We made the playoffs, and we got to watch that game at Periscope Depth. That's something I'll never forget.
I mean, just listening to your story, I would have chosen you, yeah. But you grew up in Michigan in Lions territory, so how did you become such a big Bears fan?
My dad's from Chicago, my mom's from Broadview. They moved to Michigan area for work in '76. But yeah, just, you know, Dad was very instrumental in being pushing Bears. And then coming back and seeing family. Got a lot of family in the area. I just remember driving in on the Skyway like I did this morning, seeing the signs, driving past Soldier Field. It was really special as a kid, and it was something that really resonated with me, and I just chose the Bears.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good choice, you know.
Of course.
Now, you're going to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we're hoping that they get there.
We got this. We're going to the Super Bowl.
But you're going regardless. So the Fan of the Year competition brings together, you know, incredible fans from across the league. But what does it mean to you to represent the Bears on that stage?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I know Bears fans are passionate. They're hardworking. As a passionate Bears fan, I know that they love this team. And so it's incredibly humbling for me to do this. To be selected as Fan of the Year, and I just want to represent the Bears. I want to represent this fan base, and the outpouring and love that I've received since being announced is incredible. And I just want to carry that to the Super Bowl and ideally become NFL Fan of the Year.
Okay, I believe.
Right.
If there are other people who are thinking, well, how can I do this? What support, what advice would you give them? How do they need to maybe follow in your footsteps?
Yep, so the NFL Fan of the Year has a website, NFL.com Fan of the Year. They can go on the website and they can vote for Jonathan Otten. So please vote for myself, and, you know, in future years, submit an application. You never know.
When Colson Loveland is just going to sit down in front of you.
You never know when Colson Loveland is going to sit down in front of you.
Again, thank you so much for your service to our nation, and thank you for representing the Bears so well.
Bear down.
All right. Wonderful meeting you. Still ahead on Chicago Now, we'll talk with the Chicago Botanic Garden about this year's Lightscape and what all will be dazzled by. Yelp is going to be here to talk about their 2026 food and drink report and what the big trends are going into next year. A former Survivor contestant from Chicago will also be telling us what it's really like on a reality show. About 9:20 right now. We're back after this.
I'm now 9:22. Finally getting some light outside, thankfully, right? Just in time for a weekend full of holiday festivities kicking off this weekend. Saturday is the Wintrust Magnificent Mile Lights Festival. Parade kicks off at 5:30. Choose Chicago has a big bus in the parade filled with more than 50 influencers and media from all over the world. Here to tell us more about it this morning is Jason Lesnovich, the Choose Chicago Senior Director of Cultural Tourism, Flo Lanicki, a social media influencer and creator of Flo's Favorites, and DJ White Channel. Thank you all for being here this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Finally got some sun for the weekend, right? So, Jason, can you just give us an idea? How is Choose Chicago taking this as an advantage to really showcase Chicago to the entire world this week?
Yeah, working with 50 plus influencers on our bus to celebrate Chicago and to showcase Chicago to the world. Between the 50 influencers, 179.8 million total reach by all the influencers. So it gives us a chance to share a city that's never outdone with the world through the eyes of the influencers. And of course, their followers, they're going to engage. They're going to see Chicago in this beautiful light festival and other activities throughout the weekend. They're on a full itinerary. And so it's a great chance to share Chicago with the world.
And Flo, what is this going to be like for you, getting a chance to be on this bus with other creators like yourself? Is this going to be an opportunity to maybe kind of trade ideas?
Oh, definitely create content, collaborate. It's incredible, and I'm excited to observe them as they see how Chicago shows up, because the Magnificent Mile Lights Festival is just it's huge, and you can feel the energy from the crowd. It's absolutely contagious, and you can see their faces, their enthusiasm. And so I'm really excited. It's a fun time. I'm excited to share that with them and the other activities throughout their visit, because they're truly going to feel the spirit of Chicago and understand all of the reasons why we love our city.
Now, we know that we love to say that, like, Chicago's the best place to be in the summertime. But how is this opportunity this weekend maybe an opportunity to show how much fun Chicago can be even when it's cold outside?
Yes, I tell people all the time, it's not only summertime, Shai. Like, during the holidays, it's a special time. There's so much to do and so many activities. I say Chicago does not slow down when it gets cold.
It's magical. Holiday season's magical here.
It is magical, right? Now, DJ White, you've designed your own float for this parade. Tell us about, I guess, the design process behind that.
Well, this is the largest nighttime parade in the world, and so when they asked me to be a participant in the parade, I was trying to think of something that would pay tribute to that. And so, as a DJ and a proud Chicagoan, I wanted to have a lot of roots in the club scene here, and so we were just deciding what we could do that would be special and unique for the city. And we made a nightclub, floating nightclub, go down the street, and we're really excited about it. Yeah,
what do you expect the vibes to be like on your float, I guess, compared to the other floats in the parade?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different, things going on, different floats and their ideas. But for mine personally, I just wanted it to be fun. Chicago's a fun city. To me, it's the greatest city in the world. I grew up on house music, and we're just going to have a really great time, show people what Chicago's all about musically.
Jason, for people coming out this weekend, what do you hope that they experience, getting a chance to experience this side of Chicago in the wintertime?
Yeah, it's one of the best events to kick off the holiday season. It's, I believe, over 1 million people are going to come out, and the Magnificent Mile is just, it's a special district in Chicago, and the lights and the energy of the city. I think Flo mentioned it. It's such a great event and really kicks off the holiday season for a full weekend of activities, and see Chicago maybe in a new light or a new season, if you will. Yeah.
New season, and it's not too cold.
No, it's fine.
In the 50s. What time does the parade get kicked off this weekend?
5:30, but there's activities all day long, starting at 11 at Festival Lane. There'll be some bands playing, lots of great activities for families. So come out early, but stay for the parade, and then there's fireworks right after the parade around 7:15, 7:30.
Got it all covered coming up tomorrow. Thank you all for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, time's now 9:26. We got a lot more fun to come this Orange Friday here on Good Day Chicago.
Goodman.
Not quite 9:30 on Orange Friday. Here's a strange sight in the sky. We've been getting reports from all over Chicagoland. Something glowing up high. What can it possibly be? It is the sun. Finally. Look, it's not perfectly sunny out there. It's not like we have big blue skies out there, but it's nice to not just see that wall of gray for a change. Here's a view from Shedd Aquarium. I love this little glint out there over the lake. There's definitely some sun hitting that directly, but you see some texture to the sky for a change, and there will be even more sun tomorrow and even more sun than that coming in here on Sunday. Right now, it's mostly cloudy at O'Hare. Not a lot of wind, north at about 7 miles per hour. This isn't going to be a windy day, and I don't expect much wind really this entire weekend. Humidity at 76%, the wind chill only 41. These are the current temperatures. Almost all of Chicagoland in the 40s. Woodstock, the odd exception, 39. You'll get there. 45 at O'Hare, 46 Midway, Joliet, 47. It is 45 at Merrillville, Valparaiso, and Michigan City. Benton Harbor looks like you're the warm spot, where it is 48 degrees. All right, you look at the satellite imagery. Yeah, there's still a lot of cloud cover, but there are some thin spots here and there. And there's also some rain percolating downstate. It's headed slowly north, but it is running into a wall of very dry air over most of Chicagoland. I'm going to keep a few chances of a little bit of rain, especially south of I-80, maybe even more so towards the Kankakee and Illinois River valleys. Majority of Chicagoland, no rain. 50 for the high, and winds are going to be light. Keep those light winds going tonight, and with skies that will be at least partially clearing, it will get colder than it's been recent mornings. Clouds hold temperatures up at night. So we'll go with 33 for the low tonight, low to mid-30s across the area. We've got a 50-ish day tomorrow with some sunshine, and then mid-50s at least on Sunday. It's going to be full-on sunshine. Great weather at Soldier Field for Aaron Rodgers and company coming to town. Monday, especially late in the day and at night, into Tuesday morning, we've got some rain, but temperatures will be mild. It's going to be all liquid. Then it gets colder, mid-40s to low 40s on Wednesday, and it looks like mid-30s here for Thanksgiving. A little bit of cold turkey on the way. Two lovely photos to share with you. Actually, only one photo, but it's a winner. Our friend of the show, Mike Williams, pro photographer in Montana. Love this silhouette. You got the mountains in the background, that tree just standing there perfectly against an absolutely gorgeous sky. It's about a half hour or so south of Missoula, Montana. Mike, say hi to your lovely wife for us, and we appreciate you sharing your great photos with us. Brian and Anita, isn't that a great scene? I want to be like that.
Does that sky not look orange and blue?
It's perfectly colored.
Yeah, and it is still weird. Yes, coordinated. Right. It's still weird to hear Aaron Rodgers and company and be thinking about the Steelers, right? Anyway, the holidays are about to officially kick off in Chicago.
Jake is here with the big moment that is drawing Santa, ice skaters, and hundreds of people to Millennium Park.
That's right, guys. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas here at Millennium Park, and a big reason why, that beautiful baby right behind me. Take a look at that. That's the star of the 112th annual tree lighting ceremony taking place a little bit later today at Millennium Park. The pre-show begins at 5 p.m. The lighting itself at 6:25, and there is plenty to light. That is a 68-foot Norway spruce coming in from Glenview. It was donated generously by the Mason family, and let me tell you, the city of Chicago has gotten this thing ready to go. 185 lit spheres, 1,200 strings of lights. That means there's about 119,000 lights on that tree. That means if you were to stretch those lights out from start to finish, that's 8 miles. 8 miles of Christmas lights. And if that weren't enough, that incredible ceremony that's going to be taking place a little bit later today, take a look over here. It's time. It's ready. It's open. The McCormick Tribune Ice Rink is officially open today. That's running through February of 2026. It's always free, but of course you do want to make reservations online, and of course it is always weather permitting. In addition to the tree lighting ceremony, in addition to the ice rink being open, there's also, you can't really see it from here, but on the other side of that tree, there's also a really fun holiday market that's going to be open this weekend as well. So really, this whole area, Millennium Park, it's just a great area for some holiday festivities, for some Christmas cheer. There's a lot going on, and because there's a lot going on, you do want to take into account that there's going to be a lot of people here tonight. There's going to be some traffic closures. Michigan Avenue, Monroe, Randolph are all going to be affected by everything that's happening here over the coming hours. So you want to take into account, even if you're not coming out here, you want to know that that's going on. Now, maybe you can't make it out to the tree lighting ceremony. Maybe you can't make it out this week or even this month. Guess what? That tree is going to be up and it's going to be lit through January 11th of next year. So you still got a little bit of time. There's plenty going on and plenty of time to do it. On that note, I'm Jake Hamilton here at Millennium Park, tossing it back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, so much happening this weekend. I love what Choose Chicago said about the fact that everyone kind of wraps their brain around like summertime shy, but no, the winter is great too.
Doing the ice skating, except for we're not taking Jake.
I don't know. Anything Jake kind of puts his mind to, he could do. He could do, yeah. Well, it is starting to smell really good on the plaza this morning.
Looking forward to this. Sandy's Barbecue joining us to talk about some of the holiday offerings and even a new location. I didn't know
Come
this.
on, bring it in. Bring it in. They are the best of the best. So, yeah. Plus, we've got more Orange Friday pictures to share. Let's take a look at a few as we go to break here. You guys are looking good. We're getting ready for another Bears win this
3 in a row
weekend.
so far,
Come
trying to make it 4.
Yeah.
more barbecue and some of the best barbecue you will get anywhere. Sanders Barbecue. Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen. I think this is the New York Times picked you guys as having one of the 50 best restaurants in the country. Is that right, James?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, we got James, we got Obana, we got Ivan over there manning the grill there. Let's talk about Sanders Barbecue. First of all, you guys are located in Beverly.
Yes, 1742 West 99th Street.
All right. What's the key to your success, Obana?
Just high-end, elevated craft meats, and we make everything from scratch. We put a lot of time and love into the food.
You got to do it. It's not just the amount of time on the grill; it's the amount of love you're putting into it.
It's the amount of love. The amount of love. So you can taste a lot of flavors, and you can taste the patience that we put into the meats and the sides.
All right, James, whose idea was it to say, I think I want to open up a barbecue place? Is this your brainchild?
Actually, both of ours.
Okay.
We are both foodies. We used to always talk about food, and we're doing restaurants together. And we just kind of came up. We felt like the South Side kind of desired a craft barbecue restaurant, and I think we've kind of did it well with it. So I think it's going great with it.
Well, why don't you point out some of the items that you've got here, James, and let's work from this side down.
So this is our peach tea smoked wing. It was voted #1 wing in Chicago. So what we do is brine it in peach tea for 24 hours, and we smoke it, and we make a peach sauce, like a bourbon sauce that goes on top of it.
I mean, that glaze just looks absolutely fantastic. I can only imagine how good it tastes.
It is.
Unless I taste it.
You have to taste it. You have to taste it. This is some of our items we're doing for Thanksgiving. We have the maple glazed ham, and we're also doing smoked turkey legs. So we're going to do catering for Thanksgiving. We'll take care of you guys.
Now, do you also do the whole turkey too, or is it only turkey
as well? Turkey breast, the whole turkey, as well as turkey wings.
How much lead time do we need to give Sanders Barbecue to get that order ready for pickup?
That's a good question. Monday is the last day to place orders. Okay. Because we have a ton of orders, and we just want to make sure order online as well.
Yeah,
and then Monday be the last day, but hopefully, we get everyone's last order and go from there.
Let me talk over here to Ivan, who's working hard at the grill. What are you cooking up here for us, Ivan?
Well, we have the peach tea wings right here. We have some turkey breasts, and we have some of our famous ribs over here.
Oh, my goodness.
You have to go to the restaurant and try our brisket. Our brisket is amazing.
The brisket is fabulous. Now, I notice you've got the turkey breast kind of twined up there. You do a special preparation on those?
It just helps maintain shape, and once you're ready to serve, you just take that off, and it's ready to go.
What are you cooking at home this year for Thanksgiving, Ivan?
A little bit of ham, a little bit of stuffing, the traditional stuff. But my favorite is dessert, sweet potato pecan pie.
Oh my gosh, sweet potato and pecan pie.
Yeah.
James, do we offer those dessert items there at Sanders Barbecue?
We will soon.
I put him on the spot. But let's check back in with here. Obana, you have an announcement to make. You guys are opening up a new place. Where and what's it going to be called, and what are you going to serve there?
It's called Sanders Prime. So it's compounded on all our incredible smoked meats, but it's going to be an elevated experience. So we're going to have some lamb chops that are kosher. We're going to have wings from around the world because University of Chicago is such a blend of people, and Hyde Park is.
Okay.
We're going to have smoked salmon. And it's located at 5311 on South Harper, and it's in the Promontory building in downtown Hyde Park.
All right, so you're going to be in Hyde Park there, and what's the target date of opening up Sanders Prime?
First week in March, trying to have it open.
Okay, and then if we asked you guys to, come here again and, talk about that opening up, you might come, James?
We'll definitely be here. Hope you guys can come out as well. So it's just going to be a different approach on barbecue, more of an elevated experience. Some bao buns, pork bao buns, everything. Wow. So barbecue from our Korean barbecue, everything. We're doing everything there.
Well, Ed, our photographer, is a big fan of your guys' stuff, and he's expecting special seating. Can you hook him up?
He's plugged. He's plugged in with us right now. So
he's plugged in. Give us a shout out again. Give the address of Sanders and also website for folks to place that order, James.
Our address is 1742 West 99th Street in Beverly, and the website is sandersbarbecuesupply.com.
Okay, one last question here for Ivan. Are you a flats or a drums man?
Drums.
Drums seems to be always the popular choice. All right, check out Sanders. You could tell their meats mean business, and we're going to get those desserts going here at some point, guys. All right, thanks for joining us out here on the plaza. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this.
All right, everyone, it's about 9:47 right now. He is a Chicago artist known for creating music and anthems that inspire young people, especially, to believe in themselves. And this morning, it really is an honor for us to have in studio to share his story with all of us, Zion Ali. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here. So dope.
So last year, I think it was, I met you at a function. You came bursting in and you sang some of the holiday anthems, you know, for us. And no one knew what to expect when you stepped on the stage, and we were all blown away. So I want to tell you that personally. We were blown away.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So that made me extra excited to see that you were going to be here with us on Good Day Chicago today. You have performed at over 250 events across Chicago in the past year. You've been on the move. So what drives you to stay connected to the community and especially young people?
A bunch of people hit me up and tell me how my music has inspired them to keep on going, and that's what my music is all about, just overcoming challenges. And my manager, Marshall Callery, always motivates me, like when times I get depressed or times I feel like I'm just not good enough. He always reminds me of all the accomplishments that we have done. We performed the national anthem for the Bulls, performed at Lollapalooza and many other places, and we're here. So
You're here, and we're happy to have you. You know, and I think everyone kind of goes through ups and downs and maybe needs to hear from others. Like, yeah, you are worth this. You are, this is the space you're supposed to be in right now in this moment. So your music centers around empowering youth. What inspired that mission, and how does it show up in the lyrics?
Right on. So there's so much negative music, and I think that right now is the perfect time for this type of peace music, because a lot of people don't believe in themselves and they forgot about who they are. This is something that didn't happen 2 weeks ago. You was born a champion, and I'm here to remind you that this is something that already been inside of you.
Absolutely. So what do you want young people watching this interview to walk away with? I mean, part of what you just said has to be a part of it, but when they hear your message, when they see you, and especially, I mean, you're from Chicago, you know that a lot of young people go through a lot. So speak to them. Like, look in a camera. You choose a camera and you speak to them. What is your message to them?
You got to believe in yourself, because this is your life, this is your moment, and you have to remind yourself that this is yours, and whatever you want, you can go after it. Come with your purpose. Remember that your purpose is bigger and your mission is bigger than yourself. It's around everybody. You just have to believe in yourself and take courage in yourself, because you got this. Like I said, this ain't something that happened 2 weeks ago. You was born with a champion spirit. Right on?
Right on, yes. So I wanted just to hear your speaking voice, because I know that in and of itself is powerful. But are you ready to sing for us?
Oh, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna get out of the way.
Let's do it. Okay. Chicago, let's do it. I'ma hold it down like call me an anchor. Think about my problems, deal with it later. Focus on my family and stack up all this paper. I am an emperor, God in the making. Every time I wake up, it's a celebration. Every time I wake up, it's a started from the end. I'm just trying to get it right. We're trying to get some sleep at night and trying to get some peace of mind. We're holding on this peace of mind. Trying to make it through. We don't know what we're gonna do, but I know we go. If you know you're gonna make it to 2026, wave your hand wherever you at. Come on, let's go. We gonna make it up. We gonna turn on. Come on, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Hey, come on, we gonna make it. We gonna make it. We gonna make it. If you at your home, if you listening on the radio, wherever you at, repeat after me. Say this. Say, oh yeah. 2026 is around the corner. I got something wrapped up and special for you. You got to believe in yourself. Let's go.
Woo!
Simple.
9:55, everyone. We're almost out of here. Finally, the sun decides to show up a bit.
A little bit.
A bit.
A little bit, right? All right, let's send it upstairs to Studio 32, where Chicago Now is getting ready to kick off at 10 o'clock. How you guys doing?
The sun.
Perfect. This weekend's going to be so nice, you guys.
I'm so excited about that. Good timing on the sunshine, too.
Yeah.
We can handle the gloom during the work week, but let's get it bright during the weekend.
Yes.
All right, coming up here on Chicago Now, a lot of folks are about to hit the road for Thanksgiving. We are going to check in with Allstate. They have actually just released their travel report for this year, so we're going to get a breakdown of all the specifics, when you should leave, when you should not leave, and talk about some safety tips as well.
And if you've got tweens at home, you know they're trying all the different kind of skincare, but they're picking the wrong stuff. So we're going to find out exactly what your tweens and teens should be using on their young face.
That's all coming up on a jam-packed hour Chicago Now on a Friday. In about 4 minutes. Stay with us. We'll send it back downstairs to you guys.
We just knew you guys were going to talk to break.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.